Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Sabrina Soul, and tonight we are going to be discussing Ready to Love, the reunion part 2. I'm so glad. I haven't been this glad about something in a really long time. And I just want to say that I am glad that I'm able to share this moment with some of my favorite people, my panelists, and of course, my soulmates and you guys in the chat. Shout out to you guys. I know y'all are going to be live tonight because we got some things to talk about. But before we get started, you guys know I like to go around the room and have everyone introduce themselves, let them know where you're from. And if you got anything going on, definitely let them know that too. We're going to start with Tyrone, P.O., and then Stacy.
What's going on, everybody? Tyrone Wilson from Ready to Love, DC. Always a pleasure being here every week. Sabrina done dug into me a lot and motivated me, so I will be putting out my season review most likely Thursday, if not tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Always a pleasure. You know how it is. Let's get it.
P.O.
All right. What's going on, y'all? You already know who it is. 100 sightings on IG. Yo, listen, tonight I'm representing my own merch.
I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, this is my own merch. You know what I mean? I'm about to do a good hard launch on it. So, I'll keep y'all up to speed when that really takes off. But yeah, I would stand up and do a whole twirl, but we don't get that much time. So
Stacy B.
Hey everybody, it's Stacy B from season 3, the first, the one that was in the city of Houston. Because y'all know our count is off. I always get confused because Tyrone just said 4. So I normally say 4, so now I had to go back to 3.
Wait a minute, I thought you were 5.
Somebody just said 4.
Were we 4? I thought we were 5.
Well,
y'all was
we were 4. We were 4.
Yeah, we were 5.
But y'all are technically 5.
Correct. Right. Because of the resort.
Right.
But it's crazy because like on all of our communications, it was like season 4, season 4, season 4. And then when y'all came along and then y'all were season 4 and we miraculously became season 3.
Right. Just look at the motion. I get it.
I really hate that they did that.
In the number.
I'm like, let me tell you something about these Houston people. Bring this mic real close. Bring it close, Daddy.
I really don't dislike that they did that because it really did confuse everyone. Because even though it was the last resort, it should have been season 3, the last resort, or 4, or whatever it was. You know what I mean? So I understand it was on the resort, but it was still a season. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird.
It's officially the first season of the Houston cast. And then I'm the second season of the Houston cast. So it's kind of confusing, but oh well. We've had this conversation for how many seasons now? I say the same thing.
Right. That's why we just say, I just say Ready to Love DC. Like I don't even say season whatever anymore. It's just
saying that Ready to Love Houston, H-Town.
Shout out to another round that is in the chat. She is one of my moderators and one of my soulmates. If you see a little star by her name in the chat or on the screen, you see the little S with the circle around it. It means that she is a soulmate and she is part of my membership community. If you guys are interested in joining the membership community, click that link. Or you can just go straight to my page if you are watching the replay and go to membership. If you are a member by the end of this month, the end of April, I am going to be sending everyone free merch. So definitely sign up for that membership program. And also too, Another Round has her own channel, and she does panel reviews over on Little Black Book 91 as well. I am kind of just ready to begin. What about you guys?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Does anybody have any words before we actually get started?
The words and opinions expressed by P.O. are those of P.O.
Right, and are not affiliated or have any affiliation with the Oprah Winfrey
and
Network.
with Own and all of his partners, Lighthearted Entertainment, Lighthearted and Will Packer and whoever else.
Right. Please see the disclaimer on my membership channel in my bio down at the bottom, because in real life, it is up there. All of this is alleged. And we don't even know what it's going to be, but it's alleged regardless of what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And shout out to you guys in the chat. I love you guys so much. Oh my God. Another round says her OnlyFans is coming soon.
Okay.
I don't know, because Jay got it going on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Let me find out. I'm gonna be signing up for the membership.
Yeah.
She signed up for my membership. I'm gonna have to sign up for hers.
Right. What's the name? What's the account name going to be under? Is it going to be under
round 2?
Yeah.
Another round and a round and a round, baby.
Or is it going to be the other one?
Oh my God, we are not doing Sabrina After Dark yet. Okay, it's entirely too early.
My bad.
Is this a joke?
Oh my
All right.
God. All right, guys. You know that like last reunion, just because it's entirely too much for me to share in my notes, and I'm not trying to be reading my notes to death to you guys all night. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to play the clips. I'm not going to play the whole video necessarily, but you will be able to hear, instead of me reading the scene, you'll be able to hear it. I might switch back and forth to show some footage so you guys kind of know what scene that is, and then we will be discussing it. I actually have my screenshots in the phone, but you know what? I don't think I'm going to pull my screenshots out tonight, because I feel like that this is going to be a very, very quick review, honestly. And other than that, y'all ready to begin? All right. I'm mad I did all them pictures though. All right. The very beginning of the reunion, we actually begin where it left off with reunion part 1. And you guys know that was Morgan in the dressing room. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we begin, just to let you guys know, I have a bunch of interviews lined up. And since it's the beginning of the panel review, we're only 7-8 minutes in. I want to put out there, and I will of course say it throughout the review, I do have interviews lined up. I have the Toxic Twins, which they have given them that name themselves. I have the Toxic Twins, Morgan and Jeffrey. They will be here tomorrow on my channel at 8 p.m. And just to let you know, all the interviews that I have this week and next week lined up, this is for you guys. So if you have any questions for them, definitely shoot me a DM and I will be asking them your questions. And also I will be I would be interviewing them pretty much all the comments and the jabs and pretty much everything that's been thrown their way this season. So a lot of people are like, this is just a way of you not getting dirty. And I'm just like, y'all are way dirtier than what I would have gotten. So I'm going to be asking all the questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to apologize to Blake? You know, Jeffrey, like, what's going on? Like, are you a man or no? Like, people want to know. So those are the kind of questions that I'm going to be asking them. And they're going to be your questions, the questions I've been seeing all over social media. So if you personally have any questions, DM me your questions and I will ask them your questions. So we got Morgan and Jeffrey on Tuesday. We have Anthony on Wednesday, Lyndon on Thursday. We have Z on Friday. And then the next week, we're going to probably start it with Cynthia. All right. Thank you so much, guys. So Morgan is in the dressing room upset and addresses Tony. And that's where we begin. Can y'all hear it? Can you hear it now?
You all right? Come on. Y'all need to know what y'all was up against.
I was about to say, bring it on.
We didn't work out.
It's okay.
That monster. No, he's a freaking monster.
Brian looks even more scarier.
So when I take it off the screen, you guys can't hear it?
No.
No,
Oh no, it worked last week, didn't it?
not that way.
Yeah, it
I think
did.
even
Say it again.
It did work. I don't know what you did, but it worked last week.
Yeah. All right, hold on, let me know.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, buddy. I'm proud of you.
You did well, man.
What? Where I'm going?
No.
You have
So-
2 monitors?
No, well, it's playing in the background on the actual app, which this is how I do my lives when I do my live watch parties.
Right. That's weird. It's not working.
Interesting. Well, let me
They trying to get us. They're trying to take us down, sis.
yeah,
They're trying to stop our progress. But the universe gonna get all of this tonight. Cause y'all know I've been missing action. And
y'all still can't hear it?
no.
I was that phone.
You
Now.
all right?
Yeah, but I
I don't even
can't
know what
play it.
y'all was-
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no.
Up
I know why
again.
that-
No.
Nah.
Ray looks even more scarier to me. And the way they up each other's asses, I can't.
You okay?
Yeah, man.
Hey, I'm proud of you, man.
I see you holding a
Yeah, I'm
composure,
proud,
man.
proud of you. I'm
Yes.
proud of you,
Buddy,
I'm proud of
you
you.
did well, man.
What? Where I'm going?
All right, I'm ready. I need an eye drop, baby. Where are my drops? Because
They're
they're ready
done.
to see.
Okay. So that was the beginning, and that was pretty much where we started, where she said that she needed to talk to Tony 6 weeks ago.
What before can I just interject?
Yes, absolutely.
Y'all heard of Jeffrey Real voice right there though, right? About the eye drops. I gotta give me some eye drops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just thought it was me. I'm happy to hear her real voice, even if it was just for a quick second.
Yeah. That's actually going to be one of the questions that I have for Jeffrey tomorrow night is on the show. We heard sweet, dainty, you know, and a lot of people are like, that's your real voice. Like, what possessed you to, you know, have this voice and then switch it up to that voice for the reunion? Because the voice that, and I've been seeing it everywhere, the voice that we heard at the reunion is not the voice that we've heard like throughout the season. So I'm really interested in seeing, you know, what she has to say. And I'm sure you, the viewers, you know, would love to know too. So
well, this
I know
right
how-
here, this is not my regular voice. My regular voice is like, yeah, what's up, baby?
oh,
I don't want to scare people.
Not,
So, you know what I mean?
not somebody from Bebe's Kids.
I notice it, you know, but as a man, it's actually kind of helpful because it's letting me know what mood she in. You know, when she's ready to be timid and docile and all that stuff.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, y'all may not feel that way.
Oh, so your ears don't have filters for when somebody trying
Nah.
to play you, when they try to use their voice to play you. Okay.
Now, you know what, though? No, listen. And I
That's
think
not what I said.
Okay, sweet daddy.
But I know that is different. I know it means something that is different.
I like
said-
to be fed too, Tyrone. Can you put some rice and some gravy on a fork and come feed me, please, Tyrone? But this is often.
She said, I love little baby bites. I love little
Oh,
baby
hold on,
bites.
let me get. I like to take little baby bites too.
Yeah, I think Andre
Listen.
might have fell for that. Well, I'm ready to talk about that later, but I think that's something that that he liked. She made him feel like
Mm-hmm,
you know, like a king on a personal level with that voice and everything.
mm-hmm.
But I also, like I said last week, I think that voice is the television voice. I mean, or your professional voice, or your interview voice, or whatever. So whatever voice, yeah. Because listen, you're not gonna go into a corporate office and talk like how you gonna talk when you with your girls or your boys. You're gonna change that. You're gonna change that energy. Listen, I mean, you know me, I ain't gonna go slick talk, you know what I mean, and go hard in my, you know, in the boardroom, because I want people to give me respect, you know, for that, for my professionalism. And so when you're on TV, that just may be the person that she wants to represent herself as on the television, and it may not be her real voice, but end of the day, you know, that's the person she wanted to be. That's who she wanted the world to see. Every once in a while, you know, you get caught up.
Yeah,
Well,
I didn't really think much of it.
Go ahead, Tyrone.
No, I was saying I didn't really think much of it. The voice, you know.
Yeah. And we do know that, you know, she does voiceovers. And I really, if that's the case, I would really love for her to be like, look, y'all, this is like, she needs to be like Camille. I was acting. I'm a drama teacher. You know, all the theatrics was because I was not saying that we believe Camille or a lot of people are going to believe Jeffrey or whatever the case may be. But, you know, we heard Jeffrey. She does do voiceovers. And if that's the case, she just needs to say it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, so it can just make a little sense to some of us. That's like, oh, okay, I get it now. You know what I mean? But
Right.
you know,
she's a vocal actor. But here's the thing.
Why
With
can't
this,
she do that? She should be
like
alive.
people like cast members like us, we have fought so hard to show how authentic very many of us who participate in this Ready to Love journey, we go through great extents to bring authenticity and to show how real we are and to show, hey, this isn't scripted, and this and when you introduce something like that to the show that's clearly with the Fugazis, it takes away like everything that we do, because we're fighting to be like, no. Many of us are real ass people. Like, we're real and we're bringing you our true selves and we're trying to take you on this journey with us. So when something like a Jeffrey happens, all of that we do, all the time we put in after the show has ended to defend and to show and to lend integrity to, you know, production, it's diminished.
Well, I got a confession to make, because I mean, you know, based off of what you just said, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was not myself. I was not who I am in the real world when I was in front of that camera. And there were sections of that filming where I felt like I couldn't be who I really was, because I knew they would try to use that and catch me up with some old okey doke other stuff. So I was very, very cognizant of every word and sentence that came out of my mouth.
I think that's a little bit different, though.
Being cognizant and being like a little protective of your person because you're on national TV, that's different from creating a whole persona of who you want these people to believe that you actually are. Secondly, going back to your other point regarding her voice, her dating voice or her professional voice, she is an executive assistant. She is a secretary, receptionist, whatever she is, you know, as her main 9 to 5. I will not call your office, and if I hear somebody talking like a baby, we cannot do business. So we know that is not to be something like an executive assistant. You have got to have some maturity and common sense and a sense of dependency and professionalism. So we know that ain't even the work voice.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. Her boss might like it. Who knows?
I mean, you know what? If you like it, look, P.O., if she's beautiful, she's a baddie. If that's all it takes for you, then okay,
No.
Daddy, give me some pee.
I'm just saying, you know, hey, I won't know what that is until Sabrina brings the truth to the stage. So we will see what it is.
So y'all know I'm going to be interviewing Morgan and Jeffrey tomorrow. So if you have any questions, just letting you know ahead of time, you have to send me a DM. If not, if you want them on the screen, you're going to have to do super chats. That's the only way that they will go on the screen tomorrow is by super chats, or, you know, if you want to leave a comment, only by super chats. I'm not putting comments on the screen unless you do that, or questions. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited because I got a whole lot of questions for him. I got a whole lot of questions, and that's going to be one of them. Like, Jeffrey, what happened to your voice? Everybody wants to know what happened to the voice. And I hope she really says, you know what, y'all? I like to talk like that sometimes. And sometimes I'm going to keep it Southern hood. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. And the times when I was Southern hood, they didn't show those scenes. They only saw me, you know, talking like that, very submissively. So we about to find out. Are we done with that intro with Morgan? And
no, we didn't even talk about that intro.
we
actually
did not.
No, we
I thought
didn't
that
get to it.
I just want to briefly say one thing about it, and then
okay.
I'm done with it. I noticed how, you know, they had, and this might have been messy production, how they had Marcia and Tony being cheeky on the couch a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it looked like they were implying that there was something there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, when we go into the reunion later, we see that there may be something there, but there is no there. You know, it's up in the air.
Yeah, of course. It looked like Morgan was affected by it too.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
So, yeah, I agree. I said, and it looked like Morgan was affected by it. Like she didn't know what the deal was.
Right.
What the true deal was with them two. And it came out.
You talking about with Natasha and Tony?
No, with Tony and with Tony and Marcia.
I said Marcia.
I think
she called her second. She called her a second choice. She said, "You looking like a second choice right now," when it was not that at all.
I feel like ever since Tony mentioned Marcia, when he was said at the dinner table, you know, if Marcia was still here, I would choose Marcia and you can have Morgan. I feel like ever since then, it hit something inside of Morgan. You know what I mean? So, because I know, like, usually anytime like she brings up Morgan, it's a little like, I'm not gonna say animosity, but I'm gonna say like it's a little something there that kind of triggers her. You know what I mean? So I mean, and I get it, because I wish my man would say he was gonna be with another woman and you could have you could have Morgan, and he just give me away to the wolves and he gonna pick. If I heard, I'm gonna keep it 100. If I was that woman, I would be kind of touched too. You know, so but now how she addresses, I'm not saying that how she addresses Marcy is okay or whatever the case may be, and how, you know, whatever anger she has, she's throwing it to Marcy. I'm not saying that that's right. All I'm saying is like, I can understand her frustrations, but she needs to throw that to Tony and not to Marcia. You know what I mean? So
right.
Well, Tony was looking very petty with it. Like, I feel like that was just like a card he had to play. And we know why Morgan is triggered by it, because Lyndon told us at the table on the retreat, if Marcy would still be here, he would have ushered you on over here to me, honey. And that's what it was. She sees so clearly she's really not the second. She's like a Uno second choice. Like reverse, draw two, go back to one. That's what Marcy is. She the ultimate Uno reverse card. She ain't number two. You're muted, Paul.
Wow, I saw,
you
know, Tony was kind of like using Marcia as his safe space.
That's what I was going to say.
That's what it looked like. Marcia was his safe space. She was willing to give that to him since they were on this friendship level. We did see this reaction towards Marcia earlier when they were on the date together. Like, I don't even think she looked at Marcia. I don't even think she even talked to Marcia on that date from what we seen. And then also, I think in the confessionals afterwards, she expressed that she wasn't too happy seeing Marcia there. So there was a little something there, you know, the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tony felt comfortable when he knew he had a couple of, you know, dime shorties waiting for him to select them.
He needed a safe space. He needed it though. So it looked like he was trying to hide, really.
I think it is so cute that you guys came tonight ready to defend your brethren when Tony is full of shit. And what he was doing, oh, can I say that? I can say that?
Well, you already said it. Don't worry about it.
I mean, without the YouTube guys come and get me. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, he's full of it. He's full of it, and he was playing, and he was trying to play two cards because he also let it slip out that him and Marcia go on little Wednesday date nights. Well, date days for her pina coladas and stuff. So all it is was just it was strategy. It was just strategy. One way or the other, he was gonna have a backup plan on how he did not look like the bad guy. And with Marcy there defending him and co-signing to him, he did not look like the absolute worst guy ever in life.
Yeah, I'm not defending his actions at all. I'm not condoning that we treat women that way. I don't, you know, I wouldn't ascribe that to, you know, and I wouldn't, you know, say that that's something that we should be doing. I've never said that. I'm only calling it how I see it, and there's probably going to be other scenes where I talk differently about the situation.
Yeah, basically, I was trying to say Tony is well aware how his journey looks from the outside looking in, and
Right.
it seems like the other fellas knew as well, which is why they were trying to defend him the entire reunion. But I also feel like you know, Marcia was giving him that opening, and I also feel like there may be some things that Marcia was unaware of, you know, which is why she was giving him, you know, that option to be a little safety blanket. That's all. Not saying that I'm defending what he was doing.
Right.
You know, listen, you know I'm dramatic, just like, you know.
I know.
But I also think that Marcy, you know, throughout this process, we've seen Morgan at it. We've seen the toxicity of Miss Morgan. So I'm sure there's things behind the scenes that was being said, that's been articulated, that probably ruffled Miss Marcy's feathers too. So for us to sit here and act like everybody didn't have a vested interest in bringing a little dash of pettiness with them to the reunion, I mean, that's
sure.
That's what the
If you
reunion.
call me if you call me a distraction, you know, I'm gonna throw some ish in your face too. You know, I want to see what the timing was and all that though. So yeah, that would be fun to know.
It's 116 watching.
Yeah,
Only
it's gonna be one of them nights.
43 thumbs up. If you are enjoying the panel this far, could you please click that thumbs up for the support? Thank you so very much. You know what? I'm not even going to get into it because we're going to get into it a little bit later because I can't wait to discuss Tony and Natasha again. So
yeah.
So anybody have anything else with Tony and Marcia? Because like I said, but we at the end of the season now. Marcia did go on one of the lives and she did mention that her and Tony are just friends, or I think it was a comment she left somewhere on one of the groups, but she said that her and Tony are just friends. She actually said it on the show too. Like they go out to lunch, whatever. She's like, I'm real careful. And pretty much she was like, and Tony ain't it. So, you know, she did clear that up for us. But I think with Morgan, it doesn't matter because in Morgan head, she like, you still too close to my man. You need to back up. So, but Paul, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, or did you say you were going to interview her?
Morgan or
no, Marcia?
I've actually already interviewed Marcia. Check it out. But I did it for the missing link. I did not interview her pertaining to the show.
Right. Because my question is this. Why are you only going out with Tony during the day? Do you not trust yourself at night? That's
That's a good. See, that's them questions I be needing y'all to slide in my DMs with. It's them kind of questions, So, hopefully I can get Marcia back on. We'll see. Yeah, so I'm trying to rack the interviews up because, like I said, I think because one thing I need y'all to understand, I'm not trying to interview them and ask them the exact same questions that the other interviewers are asking them. At this point, it's like they've already interviewed with Crystal, with Kojo, with this person, with that person. And shout out to all those YouTubers, Ashley Aubrey, like they interview with these people, and I love all those YouTubers, and I support them. I watch their, YouTube channel as well. But my thing is by the time they get to me, I'm not going to keep asking them the same questions. Like at that point, it's like, why y'all need to come to my page, my channel, and watch the same thing? So what I try to do is I try to bring something different. And what I try to bring different is, and I did it last season, I asked them questions that you guys, want to know. You guys are asking the things that you guys are saying, I bring to the table, and I, want clarification, and I know y'all want clarification. So that's why my interviews are a little bit different. But anyway, yeah, but you're absolutely right. Hopefully if I do get the opportunity, then
yeah, I mean, listen, you and I, we went out, or I see you out, and whatever, we can hang out and have drinks at night at 12 p.m., 12 a.m. There's no difference, right? So at the end of the day, if you got him platonic or in a platonic space, it shouldn't matter if it's 8:30 a.m. or p.m.
You right.
Yeah,
But it matters. There's an
It doesn't
obvious attraction there, right? Like she said
Well,
it
yes.
early. She says, I really like it here, right? When she was talking about Tony
that's
and
true.
her connection. So
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So in other words, she does have something towards him, and all she's doing is spoon feeding that connection until they solidify something on their day dates to carry it into night dates.
maybe it's just not to mislead him. Look, we going out during the day. This is what it is, Tony. You know what I mean?
Misleading
That way
him,
there ain't no confusion.
misleading him is going out with him at all. That's misleading him.
Yeah, I get it.
You can go out with friends and castmates. We do it all the time.
But if you know that somebody likes you and has stated that fact, and you still go out with them, what are you doing to them?
But you can
You're
know that and
making
still
them feel
know
like there might be a shot.
But you could do that and still know their history and know that you ain't gonna cross that line.
It doesn't matter though, because you know how, especially when you have a true alpha or a hunter that's going to be like, one of these days she going to slip. We gonna have a couple extra Long Islands or whatever.
That's what all men hope.
Come on, Paul. You know that is. You know that you have castmates that you wouldn't even try it with, even though you dated all of them. You technically dated all of them.
Yeah, but I don't have any romantic feelings for none of them. You understand what I'm saying? So I could go out with them.
Okay.
I know. I'm like, I'm gonna let the men talk. I mean, both of y'all have valid points, but because I'm gonna keep it 100, me and Tyrone, we have been out during the day, we have been out during the night, we have been out 3 o'clock in the morning, and I have ended up on his couch past that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get it, and nothing's never happened.
Right.
Except for that one. No, I'm just joking. But it's like, I get it. And, and of course, in the beginning, there was some type of, but we're just like really good friends. You know what I mean? And nothing's never happened. But I get what you're saying, Tyrone, because at the end of the day, we still adults. And the fact that she did find him attractive and that, and someone said it in the chat, like your question is absolutely valid. You know what I mean? Like, what is the difference? Like, why won't you go? Because she specifically said, we go out during the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, why won't you go at it? Now, like, I kind of want to know now too. I didn't really think about it like that until actually you said it, P.O.
Right.
So,
she's stuck.
Yeah, she's.
I'll finish saying what she was about to say.
Basically, Paul is saying everything is cool, but Sabrina know not to ask Tyrone for Korean food past 10 p.m. Is that what you're trying to say, Paul?
Right on.
I missed it. It went way over my head. What y'all say?
I got you, Paul. I got you. I got you.
Stacey B, you need to just go on and reboot.
Yeah. Hopefully she will. She did say she had like a delay or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Capricorn Moon Goddess says Tyrone and Tony are not the same, though.
This is true.
That is a great point.
Tony be on the move, man. He be on the move like the lease is up.
I don't know.
And then he even said it. Like he said it. Yeah, I came here. I enjoyed my journey.
Yep.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I would enjoy all of the splendor, you know, if I didn't have to take accountability for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, because he had a situationship with Marcia. He had a situationship with Natasha. And even though we know that Tony and Marcia is only friends, he's still hanging out and spending time with Marcia. So that's kind of a something ship. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's beyond courtship.
Yeah. So Tony's the man right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Tony, man, I mean,
people want to call him toxic or aggressive or whatever the case may be, but it looked like to me Tony's winning. So,
hey, Tony, man, write the book. Write the book, baby.
Look, what they say, don't hate the player, hate the game. That's what it looked like to me. And I can't hate on it.
I ain't mad at it.
I ain't mad.
No.
Oh, Stacey, you back? What were you about to say? Because Tyrone and P.O. kind of commentated and said what they thought you were going to say, but we would like to hear from you.
I couldn't hear what they're saying because, you know.
Yeah, you were froze. Don't worry about what they said. What were you about to say, girl?
Well, what I was saying is it seems like she knows herself because it seems like she has to set a boundary for herself. And maybe that isn't about Tony, it's about her. Like, I know, like, I'm really not a heavy dinner eater. So if I'm going to be out at night, I'm going to be drinking sometimes, or we're going to be doing other stuff. Like, you know, it's going to be out. We're going to be having a good time. I mean, me and my girlfriends, we do it all the time. And so sometimes if you know that at night, if it's at other venues and other things that you do, you might not want to be, you know, in a space where you're drinking and stuff. So, and then day drinking, you still have other things to do during the day. So you set your limits and you go about your life after 5 o'clock. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that might be, to me, that might be what, you know, what her life
I'm gonna tell you what it is. I mean, let me just give it to you raw right here. And
please
8 o'clock, an 8 o'clock hug, an 8 p.m. hug don't hit the same way as an 8 a.m. hug, right? They hit totally different.
At 8 p.m. Well, if you hugging at 8 a.m., that means you done stayed at somebody's house, honey. That's a whole nother hood.
No,
right there.
that might just be a good morning, hello, how you doing hug. But at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock p.m. hug, that's a little different. You know, especially after
I see at 8 a.m. slept over here.
Nah, because you know you might be at work and you see your best friend. Hey, girl, you give him a hug or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
So you talking about that 10:30 a.m.
Don't matter. The point is that a 10 a.m. hug and a 10 p.m. hug, they just don't hit the same. Period. And she knows that. It ain't even about him because look, his 10 and his 8 a.m. and his 10 p.m. hug mean the same all day, every day. Yeah. It's her.
I was about to say, enlighten us, Paul. How do they hit?
Well, I can, you know, I mean, that would be me, you know, doing what Lyndon kind of did, and you know what I mean, so I won't divulge that, but you know what it is.
Oh man,
we don't know what it is.
You know,
we might wild out a little bit tonight. It's the last one of the season.
We got
give us in advance.
Yeah, tonight is definitely just. Who cares? We're gonna shoot the shit tonight.
I mean, and Paul is already, baby, it ain't even dark outside. And he already on Sabrina After Dark.
Right.
I didn't say
Yo,
nothing.
we just got through the first 30-second segment.
Right.
Literally
Yo, we talking
40
about the
minutes
first
in.
30 seconds.
How did this
Daddy,
happen?
you be all mannish.
Oh. We still
Pass
at
my
production trying to sit everybody down.
We didn't even make it out the dressing room right now.
Right. All these distractions. Come on.
Oh my
We're
God.
still touching up our makeup right now. What are we doing?
Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Y'all are hilarious. Okay. God, I was about to say, are we done with that scene? I don't even know what we're talking about at this point.
Moving forward.
All right. The next scene, they show clips of the getaway, and Lyndon begins to explain about him and Tony and pretty much fighting for Morgan's affection and the blow up at the dinner table. And Morgan explains and calls Marcia a distraction. They exchange words, etc. So that's where we're at, and that's what we are about to listen to.
This was for Morgan, and the last thing I wanted to do was make her feel uncomfortable. Like walking in and seeing us playing pool, we were fighting for her affection.
Right.
But after she left the table and started crying, it was, it was like, yeah, this is really affecting her. You know what I mean? This is tough. Right.
So let me ask this. So after the heated discussion at the dinner table,
Oh, give Morgan a break.
did your mind change about your connection?
It just made it even harder, because Tony had a lot of red flags, whereas Lyndon didn't. Lyndon did certain things that let me know it was not just, a simple crush, but he and I shared a lot of time together, Tony.
Right.
And I feel like I gave him maybe too much grace. He says things that he doesn't mean at the moment, but was there some validity to it? Yeah, I felt like Marcy would have been a good distraction for him while I was able to
I'm not a
explore.
distraction.
No shade, sweetheart, but you definitely would have been, because he would have had somebody else to entertain.
I said, but I'm not a distraction.
Oh. Okay. Hey, Tyrone, you didn't get all your rings, bro. So you need to do some jumping jacks, get up and do something.
Well, because my third one's at 1,000 calories. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now that part is out the way.
What's going on right here? What's happening?
She's insane.
What's happening?
No. Because as I was saying, had Marcy had been there, he would have had a distraction, and it wouldn't have been so much focus.
Okay.
Y'all couldn't hear it for a second?
Yeah, we heard everything.
I think we got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was about to say it's still like 30 seconds left of the scene. Did you want to hear it? No.
Sure.
Focus on what me and Lyndon had going on.
You are not the same, bro.
I'm not even talking to you, sweetheart.
Oh, okay, well, you're looking at me
No,
when
I
you
wasn't.
speak.
I wasn't looking at you. You want me to look at you, but I wasn't.
What the heck is going on?
I thought this was gonna get through this without women arguing with each other.
Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down. We good. We great.
Okay. There we go.
Wow.
Never in the history of we got through a reunion without the women going at it.
Yeah.
So how did y'all feel about her calling Marcia a distraction?
I feel like at that point, Morgan was already on alert. I think she already was agitated and aggravated. She probably came in there with that prior knowledge of, they be hanging out and all of that. And now she's over there. Okay, so now I get it. So I think that was a nice little dig at her. Probably wasn't the best thing, that a person could do. But at the same time, it's the reunion. The gloves is off. Everybody want to get their stuff off their chest. And she gave it to her.
So I think we've been saying this for weeks, right? Where we feel like, we don't know if Morgan is emotionally aware of what she's saying and how it comes across, especially when she feels confident in what she's saying, like it might be the right thing. Even when Marcia corrected her, she doubled down, tripled down on the fact that she called this girl a distraction. So I'm thinking on a subconscious level, hold on one second.
Well, I can interrupt.
So I'm thinking,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, Stacey.
No, finish. I thought you were going to be pulled away. I was just filling it in.
No, so I'm saying like on a subconscious level, I don't feel like, I do feel like Morgan was trying to say that about Marcia in a way to try to uplift herself, right? Sometimes I don't feel like Morgan is subconsciously confident in herself like she should be, right? And there's been multiple times where she would try to bring down someone else in what seems like an effort, you know, to bring herself to the top or to make it a competition so it's clear to the person that she's talking to that she's the better option, right? If she was subconsciously confident in herself, then I don't think it needed to come out that way at all. You know what I mean? Like, even if they are on edge, if you are not feeling that way, you're not going to say that. Especially, you know, when Marcia corrected her on multiple occasions and still felt the need to come back with it again. That's my thought. Go ahead, Stacey.
Well, I'll just say this. If you may believe that she is subconsciously insecure or lacks confidence subconsciously. However, she's very consciously shady. And when you and PO think those were like winning hits, but they're not. It was just really cheap. And it's like, women, we know the code. So when she said sweetie, we knew what she was doing. We know that condescending word, sweetie, at the end of a sentence. We know what you're doing. But as Marcy said, hey, boo, I wasn't a distraction because I don't want them like that. And I think that's what's missed from this exchange. Marcy just told her twice, look, baby girl, he might have been distracted by me, but I am no distraction from you. You know, and I think that goes back to Morgan taking accountability for how she is. Like, at her big grown age, sister, come on now, let's tighten it up. Because degrading and dragging other women and you're a second choice and all the other negative things she said about other women, again, to go with you, Ty, if she subconsciously lacks confidence, she consciously throws shades and degrading language to other people, and that's just not okay.
So I feel like, Stacey, you're kind of, I'm kind of on leaning towards what you're saying, but I feel like Morgan is this type of person. When she's upset and when she's pissed off and she's on 10, it's all bets are off and you're going to catch it. I don't feel like thinking about it. I'm going to just give it to you and worry about it later. She just seems like, you know, kind of an annihilator type of person.
But that's toxic. That's not healthy.
I mean,
that's nowhere near healthy.
I'm not saying that it's healthy. I'm not saying that it's the way that you're supposed to treat people. I mean, it just seems like the type of person that she is when she gets there, all bets are off and you're going to feel it.
But she's there to begin with. This is someone who I mean, it ain't even like freaking frat. Like, we were harmless, non-toxic, just fun besties on the show. This is, y'all coined a whole toxic. You labeled yourself as toxic. Like, freaking frat, the network production gave us that. We went out here looking for some tagline or some hook to go as. Y'all coined yourself the bottoms of the bottom as far as emotional maturity and relational maturity. Toxicity is not a good thing. And when you hang your hat on that, then I have a right as a viewer to look at everything you say sideways and be like, girl, come on, you at your big grown age, because she and I are around the same age.
Every
Yeah,
season, I was just going to say, just real quick, every season, since your season, frickin' frack, there's always some sort of alumni or group or people that come together and call themselves something, right? You had like the brown skin squad or whatever, brown skin girls, and then you had the frickin' frack, and then you had the petty.
We did
I'm
not
just
call her.
saying. I'm just saying you had the petty mob from my season. You know, there's
That's
always.
them. But PO, look at who you're talking about. Look at what it represents.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not. Listen, I'm not
themselves
saying
their
that.
own terms.
And
I'm
they
not-
didn't give themselves their name. Like the Brown Girls Club, they gave themselves that name.
Right.
The Toxic Twins, they
And
gave
look how it looked. And looked at the shenanigans that was expressed through that, through that label. That's not okay.
Right. I just wanted to finish my thought and say that people probably call themselves that, right? Or call themselves or take the names that people call them and own it, right? And try to squeeze the negative out of the make a negative out of the make a positive out of the negative.
into the negative. Yeah.
Right. So,
and that's actually what they said. Mm-hmm.
Right. I think that kind of, was where they was going, but who knows?
Mm-hmm. We'll know tomorrow.
Stacey B's like,
check out the interview tomorrow night.
Please get the answer for me for tomorrow, because it's so hard for us as Black women to constantly fight through some of these stereotypes and these labels. And when we are constantly, like, you can say that you're trying to rewrite the definition and own it and give it a new direction, but at the end of the day, we're tired. Like, we always got to fight some stereotype, and then you have certain factions of us who glorify the foolishness. That we got to fight harder to prove that we're not toxic, that we got to break all these. We're not even trying to break generational curses no more. We're trying to break current curses, these current invented foolishness like these women are doing. We can't even focus on how messed up Tony was acting because we got to talk about this toxicity.
Right, but I have one question for you.
Got me hot. I'm having a hot flash or something.
That's good, because it's just going to get hotter after I ask you this question.
Now, because I don't know if I deodorant don't make me musty.
That's all right. I can't. This ain't smell-o-vision, so we
can't smell you.
Right. So my question is this: you have people like Michael Strahan, right, who's been probably called bucktooth, gap tooth, quarter mouth, slot machine, everything, right? And he's probably had to go through a certain level of bullying or all of this stuff. Over time, though, when he made a name, when he got his stuff together, he owned that, right? So what I'm asking you is, my question is being called toxic and all of that stuff all the time by the people, how should they handle that?
I think that's different, Paul. Like, his buck teeth don't bring no harm to nobody else. You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
if he's owning that, he said he don't even want to get it fixed because that's what makes him him. Yeah. What I was really trying to lean towards is why this behavior is that way, right? I feel like Morgan's beautiful. She got it going on. She's a star, but I'm wondering how much Morgan truly believes that about herself at a subconscious level, as opposed to, it seems like she needs to hear it come out of her mouth so she can believe it. Do you know what I mean?
She needs a child.
It's as if she needs to force that on other people so they believe it too. When I feel like if you're that confident in yourself, you wouldn't even have to go there.
I've seen women like that before, right? And I feel like it's not that she doesn't believe that. I just think that probably in past relationships that she had to take so much hurt that all of that pain turns into guardedness. So she might be on guard and ready to go, before before you get her. It's like, I'm not gonna let this happen to me again.
Yeah, so I ain't want to go there because I don't really know her past, but
I mean,
I'm thinking the same thing. There is something that I feel that's going on that's really, really deep there that I'm hoping and praying that she's able to address and get past it. That's just how I feel. Like I feel like I've seen this before. I almost feel like I've lived that before. Like I had an entire alter ego that I needed to keep myself uplifted. Right. So
listen, if you walked out the door and you knew every time you opened the front door you was gonna get slapped, would you keep going through the front door, or would you go through the back door and then come up and slap the person behind you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's different. Come on, like you saw it last year. Like in your season, there was a particular person that felt the need to prove that he was above the other men, right? So I kept saying,
what the initial start with?
Person.
So I was saying, I think that there's something really deeper there.
Put it in the back chat.
Making him constantly come off that way. Even in jokes, even in jest, you know what I mean? And I kept saying, I think that's a little bit too much.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I think insecurity can turn into people weaponize insecurity, their own insecurity, and they're going on assault so that they don't, get taken down first. And I'm not saying that this is, what she's actually doing, but like I said, I've seen that type of style of person before.
Yeah. But there's a reason that they're that way.
Yes,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I can imagine though, just as Black women, like just think about this, bro. The amount of, because I know the type of shit that I did in my past, and so if I was never I'm not perfect. Well, so imagine all of the stuff that Black women go through when they run into somebody and they get mishandled and they get mishandled and they get mishandled and they get mishandled, and everybody's giving all of these promises and this and that. Over time, it has to be aggravating because us as men, right? We don't get mishandled. We don't get chased and tracked down by women and brought up to made to be felt like this, and only to get the rug pulled from up under us. So if we do that, or if a woman experiences that for a lot of years, a lot of different times, there has to be some level of PTSD or something that, is triggering.
I think it's different. I think we're talking about two different things. So you're talking about being mishandled, and I feel like my approach would be different, right? So say women are walking away from me, I would not feel like there's something wrong with me. I would feel like they're the ones that's missing out. So I think what I'm trying to say is just a little bit different. And I wouldn't have PTSD from someone not wanting to be with me. But I used to, right, before I addressed it all. So I get it. I get what you're saying.
Right. Yeah, I just feel like, women get buried by guys regularly, right? A woman can meet 6 different men and get trashed by all of them. Whereas a man can meet 6 different women and they throw stuff at us because they are vying for us. And so over time, if you have this sort of, situation where women are constantly meeting no good dudes, and there's a lot of them, especially in Florida. There's a lot of them.
I got it.
And
I
yeah,
got it.
yeah,
I
and then
got
you
it.
have
I
to,
got it.
yeah.
And we had a really good example just yesterday. Was it yesterday when we talked to Natasha? Right? So when we talked to Natasha, and
Yeah.
Natasha was on here,
Friday.
and we talked about the entanglement, she couldn't fathom why when I asked her, hey, who did anyone from the cast reach out to you? Like her response to that was like, why? Like, why would they need to reach out to me? Because I'm saying from the outside looking in, it looked like a very bad thing. It looked like he was used and abused by Tony, and we would want to check up on you. But that was not her response at all. Her response was, it is what it is. I'm grown. It happened, right? Women should be able to explore the same way men should be able to explore.
Right.
So when I was thinking about that earlier today, the confidence that she has in that takes the power away from what Tony did.
Right.
So he can't use and abuse her. And I feel like on the back end, if a woman that I was with has the ability to just walk away when we were physical for weeks or months and be like, it is what it is, as a man, like that would hurt. That would bother me. And in that scenario, I feel like she would win. So that's kind of what I was trying to explain.
No, I understand that. I just feel like though, and I get your point, right? I just feel like, as men, like, we went on this show as grown ass men, right? To represent, grown man stuff. And, when we're repeating stuff that we saw on the street into a process that we're trying to get away from to do something different, then we're not serving anybody. And in fact, we're just showing women it doesn't matter where you go. When you meet men, this is how we will treat you. And no woman should walk around and look forward to that. Is all I'm saying.
Well,
Agreed.
Can I just say this? I appreciate the men's take on this. I love what you have to offer. And I'm glad that you brought up the Natasha, her commentary and her being here, because I think it's also important to note that, like, you come from a real place of empathy, you guys. And some women, they're not always in a stage of like healing, and like everything isn't about struggle love and trying to heal through this. Some of us, we know how to take our experiences, right? Look at them in a logical and rational way, get what we need to get from it to learn what is our lesson here, and we know how to move forward. Everybody is not emotionally, it's not such a detrimentally emotionally impactful event. Being ghosted is not worthy to break some of us. All of these things. Tony is not big enough to break some of us. And how Natasha responded is a way that many of us do respond. Okay, on to the next. But you ain't stopping $1 here, baby. Bye. It's your loss. Goodbye. I just feel like what we saw with this toxicity in some of the other couples is that, Black people, we don't always have to have this struggle love. We don't always have to have this breakup to makeup. We don't always have to have this, I gotta fight you to love you. Like, all of us aren't like that. And I mean, I can appreciate you guys trying to look for some emotional out, some psychological out for her, some therapeutic way out of the toxicity. But at the same time, we women, we got to deal with crazy women all the time. Not like crazy, so I'm not offending anybody who is that, but I'm saying we got to deal with different situations and that people throw at us all the time. And sometimes those people are just awful people.
Understood. And just the bottom line, and I'm just saying, end of the day, right? as Black men, like, you know, we have to do better with, you know, how we represent ourselves and how we represent our women. You know, we've been missing that from our family dynamic for years, right? And it's just cycling out of control. And you know, any woman and men too, that join this process should not leave out feeling worse than they did when they came in. They shouldn't do it. That shouldn't happen. They should be happy to have the experience of going on TV, you know, having a good time and meeting good people and whatever, and having good experiences. They should not feel like crap. They shouldn't be fighting each other. They shouldn't have to go to therapy because they
Exactly.
were treated a certain way by people. You know, that's just not cool. So
That's exactly why I said, I hate to cut you off, P.O., but
that's all good.
you're absolutely right. Because when I was on that bridge with Walter and I said this was not a good time for me, that's exactly what I meant, because it was Game of Thrones. Like I had to dodge and weave like women's words, you know, like almost hands, you know what I'm saying? But it was bad. It was a bad experience. And I think what they tried to do, especially with the way that they treated, and I can't speak on anyone else's journey, but the way that they treated me and how they spoke to me, it was like they were trying to knock me down every time they saw me to try to make me feel low. Had I been someone that's weak, I would have brought low. I would have left crying. I would have been upset. I would not have had the strength to stand up for myself, because I'm telling you, their jabs were hard. Their words were bad. They were cutthroat words. They made me feel like crap, you know? And it's just so unfortunate. And it was up, because what that did was it took my experience to another level. I'm thinking I'm just about to go on this show, I'm about to date these men, we about to have fun, we about to eat good, we about to just none of that. It messed my experience up because of those women, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I you know, and I don't want to say like call people, because I ain't no shrink, I ain't no psychologist, so I ain't trying to diagnose nobody. But all I know is women like that are just really not good people. And even to this day, people on my season still try to defend themselves for their actions and their words and say, that's not how it was. Like they literally have, you know, they're out here saying that I completely lied about my whole story. What did I get it from? You know what I mean? And it's such a sad thing, because I really thought, like you said, P.O., like I thought this was just supposed to be something fun that I would like remember forever. I could talk to my kids about. No, but it's cool though. I like talking about it now though.
I know. Well, I feel the same. So in my experience, when old buddy just went ham and was belligerent and went crazy on me, and I'm thinking I'm going to get support and not eliminated. And then I'm getting people like asking me, you know, did I need a counselor or this or that? No, the fool that acted a fool on me did. Like, how are you? So it was the craziest. It took me a minute to really like mentally get through that, because I felt really betrayed, you know what I mean, by the people who's supposed to protect us. So like it really took me a while to get through it. But at the end of the day, you're right. Some of these people, this is just their character. And while we want to say, well, Tyrone, you are a good-hearted man, and you wanna be super saver. You want to throw that lifesaver off that ship. We on the, what's that thing that hit the glacier? The Titanic, the Tyrone Tanic, and it's going down. And if you're on a Tyrone Tanic, he's gonna try to save everybody. But some of them people just need to drown in their own foolishness, Tyrone. You say the ones that's fighting for you, honey.
Oh, I'm not on mute.
Wow.
Love you, bye.
Wow.
Stacey, tell them how you really feel.
Wow. Yeah. Nah, I get it, Paul. Like, I definitely get what you're saying, you know, especially for my journey. Like, I wanted to go in with integrity. I wanted to show the world how, like, we could treat women. So when to see someone, you know, not taking it seriously and almost like going into it as if they're meant to have fun and then almost get praised for it, you know what I mean? Like, it's very disheartening, you know, to watch it, and especially to see it from, you know, the moment they step on the screen. You know, it's sometimes it's kind of tough to take, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, man. So this was one of the questions I have for actually Jeffrey is, were you really there for love? Yeah, that is
You know
a big
how I feel.
No, tell us, Ty.
I always said it, like, it may have come off as a joke that you know, I would always say Jeffrey gonna get her a man.
Yeah.
But I honestly felt like, you know, she was truly like making herself open to the process, you know, and just embracing whatever the men was going to give her. And whoever was giving her the most, that's where she would lean to, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it was love, I think she may have been open to it. But yeah.
Well, if you gonna say she came for low hanging fruit, just say that, Tyrone.
I didn't say that, Stacey.
I think Jeffrey, I think she had great aim. She just had a bad target. And so
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, if somebody would have, you know, gave her what she wanted, you know, I think ultimately all she wanted was somebody to connect with emotionally. That's what I saw.
Yeah,
You know,
me too.
I didn't see her like, you know, tearing people down and stuff like that, other than the Sue Ann situation and, you know, whatever happened between her and Blake, which I don't know. So that's still, you know, the question mark. What was actually said, you know, what was the real with that? I don't know. But I feel like end of the day, all she wanted to do was find somebody that she could like, that they would like her back, and then maybe they could grow emotions and feelings and, you know, start with a, you know.
Yeah. I feel like she was willing to try for whoever was willing to try for her.
Exactly. Right. That's exactly how I feel too.
Say the end of the sentence again, for whoever was willing to try for her.
Yeah. And it looked like she believed it. It just happened to backfire on her.
As smart as y'all are, y'all can be some suckers. God, wait.
What we did wrong?
I mean, y'all.
It's just an observation.
It's so
not
many.
Saying it would have. Not saying it would have been me.
Let me come wherever y'all at and infiltrate y'all got friend group, because that would be so easy for some of these women out here. Y'all are making it too easy to just walk all over y'all's hearts. Like, what the hell are y'all? What, are we watching the same show?
We wasn't saying that. Is that what you feel like I was saying?
No,
I feel like
what?
No, so here.
Let me turn on the air conditioner. I gotta go turn on the air conditioner, right?
Okay, well, while you do that, let me explain her. We watch television. You might watch a movie, right? And you might get something different from the movie that I didn't get. And I might look at the movie a different way. We all have our own views. Like, I'm not saying, I can't say that Jeffrey wasn't ready to love, because she was ready. She was open to everybody. Like, even, what's his face? Blue. When Blue was slow dragging his feet.
Yeah.
So,
just despite of what we know and how we feel, you can say that when it comes to the process, like, she approached the process in a way that we would want people to approach the process, right? She's the one that we know the most about. You know what I mean? I feel like she was vulnerable with almost everyone to a point to where we felt like whoever sat across from the table with Jeffrey, that's the
Mhm.
one she's gonna go after,
Mhm.
right? Like we were saying that about her. So I feel like when it comes to the process, if there was a dude that showed some assertiveness, she would give it a shot.
Mhm. I have one.
That's all I'm saying.
I have one more question, and I said that I was going to approach this a little bit differently, just because I do have my interviews with them, but I want to ask you guys' opinion, and you guys can also put this in the chat and let me know how you feel. But I honestly want to know why people are so upset and mad at Jeffrey. Like, honestly, because Tyrone, you said it. She came in, she was open. I'm not saying she was everyone's cup of tea. It might have been some things with her personality, her getting in this thing with her leggings, her baby voice. Like, I get all those things. Ain't nobody perfect. Can't nobody go and be like, I'm gonna say, oh, you're perfect. Everything about you is perfect. Your voice is amazing. Your hair is great, girl. You know what I'm saying? Your beard is like that. Like, ain't nobody perfect. So my thing is like you said, Tyrone, she came in transparent. She came in, she talked about her Crohn's disease. She came in and talked about her kid's father and about them not being in her life. She came in and said exactly like what she expected of, these men. And like, I'm just like, okay, I get it. But it's so many people out here that's calling her toxic and and it's like, I'm not taking up for it. I just kind of want a better understanding of how you guys are feeling. And also too, this is like a little bit of what is the word? A little bit of context for my interview tomorrow.
Okay, let me tell y'all this. I think Jeffrey is a beautiful woman. When I first saw when the cast was revealed in the show, the very first episode, and all that came on, I was like, oh, she's gorgeous. Like, oh, I like it. Like, oh my gosh. But you just said that everything that turns my stomach, that not like turns my stomach. I'm not going harsh because I'm in a place where I can be corrected. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just rubbed wrong. You know what I mean? However, if I'm going to date, right? If I am open as a woman in my womanness, every conversation is not going to be something that demands sympathy from you. This is my sickness. I have this going on. Oh, because last season, the first season of Miami, when the lady with the flowers, when she kept talking about stuff, it was a problem. She was a problem, right? So we're gonna be, for the sake of being consistent, just because Jeffrey is a super attractive, beautiful, intelligent woman, doesn't mean that she is above people critiquing her as well. Oh my, woe is me, my kids, woe is me, my Crohn's disease, woe is me, the dad, woe is me, single mom. So that is what turned me off. And it may do that for me because I'm a single mom of 3 kids who work hard, and I don't use, my experiences with my children, life, with any illnesses as a crutch. When I'm putting myself in a place to be my authentic self, I want you to know. And the things that we don't know a lot about Jeffrey, we just know a lot about her circumstances. That's it. So that's my only issue. I'm not against her by any means, and I feel like it's so disappointing that like a lot of people have been able to manipulate this fine line between like critique and I don't understand this or I don't relate to this, to like, oh, they hating on her, they don't like her. No, I never said that. I don't know the lady.
So I'll tell you this. Here's what it is. The way that this show works is they show you the personalities. They program people when they first start watching the show, right? And so the first thing that they did was they showed us the coarse sides of Jeffrey. I didn't really like Jeffrey in the first couple of episodes. And then she started to change, right? And then I started to like root for her because I'm like, oh, okay, she's actually cool. Like there's not like she's not dogging the guys. She's not talking crap to the guys as and being a beautiful woman. She wasn't conceited or any of that. I didn't see those sides. But they started her out in the show having, you know, sort of the Blake tension and then the Sue-Ann tension. And they focused so much on that that they made us look at her and say, yeah, you know, you messing with Blake, you're doing this, you're doing that. But true in all, I didn't see her do anything, you know, that would be super off-putting. Whoever she wants to be on camera, voice-wise, have at it. I mean, that's just, you know, you do what you do. And I think a lot of times too, we don't give people the opportunity to be expressive or express themselves, right? So maybe that's just who she is as a person, right? She has kids. Maybe she, you know, has that sort of personality because she has kids. Who knows? It doesn't, like, to me, that didn't take away from the fact that she came there and was open and ready to, you know, start something or find her person or share her life and be vulnerable with the men that was approaching her. That didn't affect any of that at all. None of it.
Yeah.
Clearly it
mhm.
affected it to the point that ain't none of them with her.
Well, but these are the flaws in the men.
There's
These are
flaws on
flaws
both
in the men.
sides. There's flaws on both sides, and you can't act
Well,
like it's not.
the man picked her at the end of the show. He chose her, and then said, "I want a refund after the show's cameras went off." Come on, man.
Tyrone, what were you about to say?
Yeah, so just to go backwards, you know, like I was saying, I feel like she was willing to give it a shot with anyone who showed, you know, some effort. Andre showed some effort. Unfortunately, some things had happened. He had a change of heart for whatever reason. Still don't think we've got down to the bottom of that. Um, I feel like some of the things that we learned about her was because, you know, they were asking and then she was opening up. And then when we learned all of those things, it was because, you know, things were starting to get serious with the connections, right? Where she mentioned the Crohn's, it was almost like it went over Mark Anthony's head. Like he ain't even understand the seriousness of it all. And I feel like she was just opening up on some things that she may feel like she may be slighted for, even though you may not see it as a slight, like kids, whatever. She may feel like it's a slight. So it's almost like she's got to get that out right away so they can determine how they're going to move from that. And now that she got it out, if they still like her, then maybe that's her way of kind of vetting the men on who she should give her attention to. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, you know, I felt like for me personally, I wanted to give that person all of me. So I ended up talking about my PTSD on my first date. And there was a lot of people kind of complaining about that, saying that's too early. And I'm sure that there may have been other men with PTSD being like, oh, look at this dude trying to use his PTSD as sympathy. You know, a lot of people have PTSD when that's not the case. I'm just trying to give you me, and I know that there have been situations where, you know, that's not necessarily something that other people want to deal with, right? But if I have a flaw, if I have a perceived flaw that may be my most major flaw, I'm going to tell you what it is right away. So if you're able to deal with that, now I know there's a chance that I can move forward with you.
Thank you,
So,
Q Browning. Sorry.
so like for instance, with Blake, there's people that was willing to hear Blake out when he said what he said about his kids. Mercedes said, yeah, tell me about that. You have kids? How you feel about this 87%? Where Morgan was like, I'm out. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? So he wasn't trying to use that as sympathy. He was just saying, hey, this is just what it is.
Mhm. Thank you, Cute Browning, for the super chat. Well, it wasn't really a comment, but thank you so much. I appreciate you. Sorry, Tyrone.
And Tyrone, you know what? My perspective may just come from a place like I really do be wanting good things for people and the best for people. And sometimes you may see things more like as in like you might express a little more sympathy for people's situations, and I might be more like, hey, I understand where you're coming from, but this is what I see. I've been there, done that, and this is like, you deserve to treat yourself better than where you're at, especially with the mom. So my perspective, our critique of Jeffrey might just be coming from maybe like big sister, like mother too, because I'm 40, she's 33, something like that. She's young. It's so for me, my vantage point might just be like, girl, in life we don't have these excuses. Like we got these kids. We can't just, like, we got to go harder than this. You know what I mean? And I guess like from what I was seeing, it looked very like was using things as crutches to me, and that just might be because of my walk of life. You know what I mean?
I understand that.
So let me just say one other thing. Jeffrey is 31 years old, or maybe 32. I don't know, 31, 32, with 3 kids, right? So think about this. There's a lot of stuff that she probably had to ad lib in her life, right? In other words, you have to grow up fast when you have kids. And I'm assuming that she had those 3 kids probably, when she was a lot younger, right? And so everybody wants her to have this sort of, total package deal coming on TV, and, you should look like this or look like that or whatever. Like she's barely like, reached really, grown woman stats. Not saying that she's not a woman, but I'm just saying, she's young. She's still got life skills and stuff. She's probably going to look at this situation 10 years from now and say, you know what? There's a lot of stuff that I messed up on. There's a lot of things that I wish I could have did or whatever. Like, so like when you can't, like, I mean, we can, because, obviously it's fair. You're on TV, you get judged. That's fair. But we really can't expect her to be, this person that has it all together, is what I'm saying. And so there were gaps and rooms for those immature moments with the Advocate Sue or the whatever, those other little small things that she was talking about. I mean, nobody's perfect. And, she's probably got some growing to do.
I got a question for Stacy. Like you're muted, Stacy.
Oh, go ahead. What's your question?
No, I was gonna say, like, I can see how maybe at the beginning when she was explaining her situation, her illnesses, and her kids, how it could have seemed like a woe is me type of thing. But what about like towards the end where you can clearly see like she's kind of getting fed up explaining it, and she's super confident about it to a point where she's like, ask your brother, right? Clearly he knows why. And then towards the end where she's
like to be challenged. She doesn't like to be challenged. She was saying ask your brother and stuff like that because she felt like she was she should have been on a higher level of validation with him, and I don't have to answer to you. He's choosing me. He chose me. I don't have to answer to you. And that's what I was getting from that. Like we're you and I are looking from two completely completely different lenses. Like we are seeing like different shows at this point, not in a bad way, but just like, because to me, I
Just
was like,
different
oh,
perspective.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was like, oh,
Okay.
shoot. He likes me. And if you go back to some of her comments, her confessional comments during those times, it was like, well, ask him why I'm here. He's the one that got me here. Like, I'm here. So I think like that was probably something else that was off-putting for me. My thing is also, I know that her kids are young. You know, my kids are much older. You know, sometimes you need, and to my understanding, and Sabrina, I guess we'll get this from your interview tomorrow. You know, it was my understanding that she was in a longer term relationship, you know, for a long time with some of her kids' father. I think 2 of the kids' father. She was in an extended relationship. So I just don't think, I think that what she gave us was all over the place, because she needs time to figure out who she is outside of these situations and these relationships. She went back, like what I didn't like about her was like, all black men do this every day. No, they don't. A lot of men do it every day, but there's a lot of men raising their daughters or their children as well. And there's a lot of good dads who co-parent with the mothers of their kids. You know, so I just didn't like putting like that kind of negative stereotype, like those kind of things. I wasn't fooling with it. It was just too much for me.
Yeah, and I think that she cleared up that broad brush statement, and actually we heard it where she
Oh,
said,
what she
on,
said.
she said from her side. In other words, from her perspective, from her lens, from the situations that she's been in, that's all it's been with black men. So I think that might have gotten misconstrued because I was off put. I'm not gonna lie, I was off put when I heard it myself, and I'm like, wow, like really, like you got to do better than that. You know, you can't broad brush all black men because I'm black, and you know, I raised my kids. Actually, I was a single parent for a little while, so I'm like, I'm not in that picture. You know what I'm saying? And Tyrone, he's not in that picture. So, but then that was clarified. So, I mean, what one's experiences, and even still, she could have worded that a little bit better. You know, and just said, you know, most of the men that I've dated, or all of the men that I've dated, has treated me XYZ. So I think, you know, if we would have omitted the black man part, you know, probably would have went over a lot better.
Mhm.
But in the moment too, you know, when you're not in the reunion, sometimes you know, you're saying stuff and you're trying to hold it together, and sometimes, you know, you just break or whatever too. So, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, we talked about that too. I think it was in response to the way Andre felt like he couldn't believe that, you know, a black man wouldn't, that the guy wouldn't want to be there for his kids. And we were saying if he's never experienced that and he don't know any men that would do that, then good on him, right? Good on him in the circles that he hangs in. I
Mhm.
feel like we I feel like I understood what she was saying by that. I know that there were people that were really sensitive to that. So I also feel like it works the other way around too. So if we can be sensitive about her kind of concluding that all black men don't, then we can't conclude that all men do, right? So that would be us being naive as well. So I feel like we both got to respect each other's perspectives because I know a lot of men who aren't there for their kids.
Thanks.
But I'm going to say this. I'm sorry. I want to chime in for a second. So I do understand. And I don't know if you guys, I did put like a little clip up there, but she did come in the comment section and she was saying that, and I understand what everybody's saying about, she didn't say all because she said black men do this every day. I get it. A lot of people were offended, even though she didn't say all black men, but she didn't say some black men either. So it's like, I understand what everyone's point of view is, and everyone is entitled, of course, to their own opinion. She did say, you know, that she was pretty much talking about her experience, and her experience could be her uncles, her neighbors, the people at her job, you know, her growing up, you know, her stepdad, her mama, her mama's boyfriend, you know, all these people, and all she has seen was Black men do this every day. You know what I mean? So it's like, I understand her point, but I understand how y'all feel about, you know, her did not saying some. So my question is to you guys is, how would it have come across if Blake had said, Black women do this every day?
That's my thing. Just let's be consistent, because we'll be mad if he said that.
Mm-hmm. So I just, you know what I mean? Like, I guess I'm playing devil's advocate, because I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to get everyone to like kind of understand where everyone else is kind of coming from. You know what I mean?
No, I appreciate the breakdown too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I could sit there and say Black women don't do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, all right, Blake, that's how you feel. That's what you've experienced. Okay, that's not my experience, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, like I said, I'm a single mom. I do everything for my kids by myself. Period. So for me, from this perspective, to still have awareness and maturity to say that I will not issue a blanket statement that all men are like this or all women are like that. I won't say that. You know what I mean? That's just not for me. I might have missed a word or two. Like I said in the comments, y'all know I got 3 kids. I be doing stuff, trying to eat, trying to fold clothes, trying to get everything into this short little. So maybe I missed a word. Don't be coming for me, hunty.
Yeah.
What I say is, hey, what did I say? Oh, she did. That's not all she said. What else did she say? Like, give me context so I can have better understanding. So we don't even need to play like that.
Yeah. Again, not trying to play sides, but it was in response to what Andre said, where he said, I just can't believe that, you know, men
Right.
would purposely be away from their kids. And she says, you're acting like, you know, what did she say? I can't believe that you don't know that Black men do this every day. It was in response.
like,
So it wasn't like she just said it out of the blue.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like
Because he was
Andre.
great. Mm-hmm. Go
Oh,
ahead,
I'm sorry,
Stacey.
Selena.
No, you're fine.
Y'all know I got a little thing.
But good on him. It seemed like he has a history of being there for kids. So, like, I can't fathom a man not wanting to be there for his kids, right? So I can understand where Andre is coming from, but I'm not going to sit here and say like that is totally unbelievable. Do you know what I mean?
So can I say this?
Oh, good.
I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
So I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say this because I'm a single mom, and you guys know I've been a single mom since conception, you know, and it is what it is. I don't think about the father. I don't think about, you know what I mean. I just think about what I need to do as a mother and to have my daughter's best interest at heart. That's all I think about. I don't dog my daughter's father. I don't talk bad about. I don't. But my thing is with Andre and Jeffrey's situation, just for me, and how I view it and how I look at it is for him to have a problem with, well, why isn't 2 fathers? My thing is who cares if the fathers are there or not? How bad do you really want this woman? Like, you want to be with me or no? Like, do we like each other or no? Like, what does the fathers not being there have anything to do with what you and I are trying to do? Like, so, and when she said what he was looking for out, that's exactly what it is. Because I know I have dealt with and dated men that actually had, like, you know, the mother's drama, but I was like, I want to be with this man and we're going to try to figure it out. And we did figure it out. You know, she's like, Sabrina obviously ain't going nowhere, you know? So over time, like, you know, it became a peaceful situation, but I wasn't just going to throw the whole relationship away because the baby mama didn't like me. I can't help because she insecure because I'm amazing and fabulous. I can't help that. That's a personal problem. She got to get over that. So for Andre to act like that, especially like in front of everyone, I just felt like that could have been something that they could have talked more about. outside of it, but he did say she ghosted him and she did say that he ghosted her. So I feel like we will never really know. Hopefully I can get some answers tomorrow, but that's just my take on it. I just don't understand why he had to throw the whole relationship away because he didn't know where the fathers was and why they wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me.
But to me, he said, I couldn't get clarity during the process on these issues. But my thing is, then why the hell did you choose her at the end?
Right.
Why did you choose her? You could have gone in and been like, you know what? I appreciate this, but I have pause because there's some issues that I need clarification on.
But you don't just throw the whole relationship away. You communicate, you talk. So me and you, we get married and it's something that's in the back of your mind, but because you don't have the answers to it yet, you like, you know what? I'm just going to get a divorce. Since I just can't get clarity on the situation, I feel like we just need to go sign the papers. Like, you got to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just, you're going to come across. So if he would have stayed there and got clarity on the fathers, so what's going to happen 6 months when it's something else that comes up and you can't get clarity on it? You're going to leave then too? So it probably was in Jeffrey's best interest that he didn't stick around, because if he can't stick around because he didn't have clarity and didn't understand and all this other stuff, people make time for what they want to make time for. People invest into what they want to invest in. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way or whatever. But I'm sorry.
My
Y'all
thing
know.
is,
sorry.
If we look at how quickly their relationship took shape, like the form it took was a very like affectionate, very physical relationship. And I think that I can believe that they both ghosted each other, because what did they really learn about each other on the show other than like what color lipstick she has that keeps getting on the side of his face? And what kind of canned soup products Andre uses in the back of his head. Like, that's all they could get from each other at that time, because they were just so physically attracted to each other. And that's, again, we go back to Marcia and her knowing her boundaries and setting her boundaries. Like, when you're really looking for love and looking to do things differently, you can't always lead with the physical. You've got to slow it down, like, got to go through it at some point. But this was a cast of everybody who just knew every damn thing, generally speaking. Blanket statement. I'm not talking about everybody. Any of these people on this cast, just, they got all the solutions. We hear how they're the shenanigans.
Well, Sabrina, I have a question that you can ask Jeffrey. Please ask her, did she introduce Andre to her children? Because I think that there was some clarity on there that I wasn't sure about, where he said he seen the kids or whatever, but did he actually meet the kids?
Yeah. Okay. Because he did say he saw the kids, but he never said that he met them. So we were like, did he see him in a picture? Did he see him in physical form? Like, how he see them? So I will ask her that question.
Yeah, because my thing is, and if that is the case, right, and he did meet those kids, and then you pull this stuff and you bail out afterwards instead of just saying, you know what, no, I'm not ready to meet the kids. You understand what I'm saying? I think that's that's kind of messed up.
Okay, just to give another side of the coin. I'm not saying this is what happened, but y'all know how sometimes some women can just force these kids on these men that's not in the stage of meeting the kids. And let's not act like it don't happen, because I've seen, I haven't personally done it, but I've seen women. This is Uncle Dre. He just gonna come and watch movies with me in my room.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
After
but
10 p.m.
There was a person on my season that was letting everybody talk to the kid. I ain't never talked to that kid, and I refuse to talk to the kid because I'm not on that.
Did you talk to the baby?
No, I ain't talked to that baby.
Well, I think we saw Marcia say Andre always on the physical. I mean, always on the surface, or something like that, right? So we also saw Andre say that he's seen the kids, and the fact that he's been a father figure to kids before. I'm thinking that he got to a point and started looking at the risk, right, of being a father figure to 3 more kids. Should something happen between him and Jeffrey, that's 3 relationships gone for him, right? That's relationship gone with Jeffrey. Possible, money that he may have to put forth depending on how serious the relationship had gotten. You know what I mean? So he ends up losing a lot where he could be like, you know what? I'm Andre now from Ready to Love. I pop bottles. I hang with models. I was built for this.
Mm-hmm.
And he's weighing the pros and cons of both of those things. And he, like she said, could be looking for a way out. Like, I understand he understands the seriousness. I figure at his big age, he should understand the seriousness of moving forward with someone who clearly says, I have 3 kids. What up, J-Dub?
What's going on, J-Dub?
Good to see you, brother.
Hey, panel. Ty, P.O., Stacy B, Sabrina.
Hey, y'all give J-Dub some love in the comment section. I am so glad you are here. It's to the point now where this panel has taken on a whole thing of its own. Like, I don't even know where we are in the notes at this point.
We only 60 seconds in, Sabrina.
Y'all only got me for another hour.
Right. We need to just freestyle this thing and just call it a day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going, you know what I'm saying? But so I don't know if you know or what time or when you came on, J-Dub, but golly, what are we even talking about? I mean, we're talking about so much, but we're talking about, okay, because God dang it, because it started with Morgan calling Marcia a distraction, and then it just morphosized into Jeffrey and I asked a question. Didn't I ask a question? Y'all help me out.
Sabrina, I think we need to put the disclaimer out again.
We need to do it. What's
the views and opinions expressed by J-Dub?
You better, because it's the last one for this season. So I'm gonna let it go. I don't care about no feelings. I'm not trying to be nice. I don't get invited to the watch party. So
in real life,
like
J-Dub, I saw him in the Kojo with the interview with Cynthia before we started. I was like, oh my God. I was like, J-Dub, give no F's. I was like, what?
Oh yeah, I was. Oh, I let it go. I told him while Cynthia at the interview, her baby daddy James is upstairs eating a bowl
you
of
was
cinnamon
like, y'all
toast
still
crunch.
together.
All that, yeah,
like,
he upstairs. Man. That's her man. They said, somebody asked, who are we talking about? James. I said, yeah, that's Cynthia's fiance.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. So now that you're on, I guess we can move forward because we're actually about to talk about Andre and Jeffrey, and they talk about their journey. So the clip is about 2 minutes long. So we've already kind of talked about it. And then we can discuss further, and then we can go ahead and end that scene and move forward to the next. But let me go ahead and play that. I already have it set.
She had to make that decision.
What's for you is what's for you.
Pretty much.
Point blank. Jeffrey, what made you trust Andre in the beginning? And do you feel that trust was misplaced?
We literally talked about everything that matters. And so my heart trusted that. But at the end of the day, he realized, I think he cared about me, yes. But I think he knew way before the finale, like, hey, right now, I don't think I'm trying to take on Jeffrey, and she has 3 children. I remember him even telling me, like, how are we gonna have time for our kids if I'm being stepdaddy to yours? So if you can't love me and my children, don't even apply.
Package deal.
Yeah. I shouldn't have to be held in the fire because the fathers aren't present in their lives.
I saw a lot of things that she could improve on, which I actually never questioned much about those parts as much as I questioned about other things.
Don't make me feel bad or telling me, was there nothing more that I could have done to force a man to be in their child's life? And I was looking at Dre in that finale, I meant everything, you know, so it was hard to have him switch on me like that. It was almost like night and day.
Where's your love life right now?
I'm single. I'm honestly, in my mind, I'm single until there's a ring on my finger. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in sex. I'm not interested in any of it. My kids are at the forefront of everything. Put a ring on it or hush.
That's another show. All right.
Okay.
That's another show. And I just want to give a shout out to Ebby Reviews. Thank you so much for stopping by. I love to see you here. Y'all check out Ebby Reviews. As you see the name, she does reviews as well. She has her own YouTube channel and she is off the mother freaking chain. You need to check her out. She also does panels with Kamisha Reviews. Shout out to you, Ebby. Thank you for stopping by. All right. So we were already kind of talking about Jeffrey and Andre. So with that scene that I just played, we're gonna start with It's J Dub.
Okay, what do you need to know?
Whatever you want to give us. We already put the disclaimer.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, great. Yeah, put that disclaimer because I'm about to let it go. I'm glad you I missed what y'all was talking about. I still want to touch and go over that Marcia and Morgan fight. I mean, yeah, you can kind of steer it back where you was going, but I'm not sure what people were seeing or how they felt. You know, I'll give you my take on it. I felt like Marcia got a little sensitive in that moment, and I don't understand how she took just saying you may have been a distraction of what we got going on as like something so negative where she had to go off on Morgan. But then, you know, Morgan showed who Morgan was. She's emotionally unstable. So it was like she took the bait or whatever, because at that point Marcia was like picking at her or whatever, and she, you know, she just went off. Yeah. So what else? I just had to say that because people kind of get the impression like, oh, I can't believe that Morgan started the fight and all of that. And I'm like, I didn't see it like that at all. At all.
Yeah. A lot of people were offended by calling her a distraction. I definitely feel like she has a very different choice of words. I felt like she could have said it a little bit differently, but I really, in my heart, truly don't feel like she was trying to attack Marcia like that. But if it's kind of one of those situations, Sabrina, oh, you just got to know Sabrina. If you don't know Sabrina, yeah, but she ain't mean no harm. You know what I mean? But a lot of people just didn't take it like that. You know, a lot of people felt it was condescending. A lot of people did feel like it was passive aggressive. So I've been seeing, you know, both sides of the story. So, or both opinions and the thoughts of it. So.
Well, I just looked up distraction and it says a thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to someone else. There's nothing negative about that.
Yeah.
That's it. It is what it is. So yeah, if she was there, she would have been a distraction.
That's because you have common sense. That's because that people just be throwing out words and using them how they want. That had a new. You're a distraction. Like she meant it as in you're a problem. Well, hell, that was accurate as well too. Shit, I stand correct.
She know what she meant, and the only thing Morgan said was, "I'm not a distraction."
Right?
She had to say it 3 times, and then Morgan came back with, "Yeah, that's right, because you weren't there." Right? Yeah. Trying to throw shade on purpose.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Sweetie.
Not Sabrina. Yeah, I hate that sweetheart. Sweetheart.
Sabrina. Cousin Brina.
Sweetheart.
Yes.
Sweetie. Come on.
Right. I mean, don't get it twisted. Some of the things that Morgan have said, and you know, and y'all know I love me some Morgan, and y'all know I love me some Jeffrey. But when Morgan wrong, Morgan is wrong. Sister Morgan, you was wrong, and I'm gonna tell you wrong. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the low hanging fruit, y'all know I got upset about that. You know what I'm saying? So when she does say things like that, I'll be like, sis, like, why? You know what I mean? And then I'm thinking to myself, like, girl, you on national TV, you can't say that. Some people love it. Some people can't stand it. You know, if it was me, and I'm going to say this, and I said it too, I think on the last reunion, me not being a viewer, me being on the show, I was like, I don't think I could have been on the show with Morgan. Like, I just called Zadia BITCH on the reunion. I think me and Morgan might have actually gotten into a fight by episode 7. We probably would have thrown fists. I probably would have got kicked off the show because I have a mouth on me because I talk back. Marcia actually talked back very nicely. I'm not that nice. I am when I get BITCH, whatever, how I spell it right, vibes, I give super BITCH vibes back to you. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, who you talking to? Like, I get real hood with it because I did, you know what I'm saying? I grew up from the street, you know what I'm saying? Like, people like, so pretty, but you so gangster. I am, you know, just not about that life, you know. So I just yeah. I get it. I don't got nothing else to say. I think I know I go off on it.
It's almost like me and J-Dub are both trying to date Sabrina, but I'm like, J-Dub, if you were there, you would have been a good distraction for her.
Okay.
You would have been like, I ain't no. You
know? No, I wouldn't. I mean, because I don't. What you say to me, unless I find it so disrespectful, I'm not even going to address it. I'm gonna just like let it roll off my back. It's like, oh, Ty trying to poke at me, or Ty think he's saying something slick to me. It don't mean nothing to me. It means nothing.
Right. It don't mean nothing, but you do know that I'm trying to poke at you.
You recognize
that's the point. You do know what it is.
And
well, I mean, go ahead.
J-Dub, we're having a failure to communicate because it's trigger women words right here. Honey, sweetie, okay, all of that trigger words.
Okay,
that'll make somebody pop off. That'll make somebody pop off.
SJ says, so you're a Morgan when pushed. I'm worse. I hate to say it, but I am. Morgan is actually an angel compared to how I can be. But, you know, I'm not about that life anymore, though, guys. I'm not.
Well, y'all know.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm sorry, just call my Aunt Diamond and tell her get them bones and them rocks together for that bag and shake a little something on them because,
like, I'm a mom now. You know what I'm saying? I got stuff to lose, but you could have caught me 12 years ago. Catch these hands. I'll get that charge and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I ain't about to get nothing. When you got these little Bayou Creole women that know how to shake a bag, baby, and know how to light them color candles and them feathers, baby, tell you what, I don't have to do nothing. Y'all can play with me if y'all want to. Everything will fall off of y'all. Play with it.
Play with it.
Yeah, I wanted them women to just stand there.
I won't need any nerve. I won't need any nerve for that. I got somebody I can call that. Poof, shake a hand, shake a leg. It's out.
So, like I say, whether it's a man or a woman, your triggers are your own, and you choose to what you want to engage with. You know, granted, yeah, when I hear them, even a woman ain't talking to me when she's talking that sweetheart, very condescending, but you know she's trying to get at you. So you do have a choice whether you want to engage or not. Because somebody can sit on the panel and say, "Oh, look at Sabrina and Stacey B. Y'all so ugly and the ugliest things." Like, so you like, "Oh, you call me ugly? I'm ugly." Do you believe you ugly? You got to absorb that. You got to accept that. So, I mean, it's a choice. It's all a choice how you want to do it. So that's what I'm gonna leave that at.
We on that. I ain't letting nobody call me a distraction on national TV.
Tyrone is triggered.
My bad.
Tyrone, like, say it again.
Right, like I feel like especially when I'm trying to correct you nicely, like I'm not a distraction, bro. You know, and then you call me a distraction again, and I'm like, look, bro, I said I'm not a distraction,
right? And
then you say it again. Come on, man.
I was nice like that, because I would have been like, I'm about to show you what a distraction.
You want to see a distraction? You want to see a distraction?
Right, I'm about to show you what a distraction can do.
But see, you want to jump up. You want to jump up and say, "I'm gonna show you what a distraction can do." I'm gonna hit my trap phone. I'll be like, Ruby, hey Ruby.
Oh my God.
You remember what you said about that feather? I got a cold feather.
Oh God.
It's on and popping.
Oh my God. Oh shoot, I got pictures.
I like that.
we are only on the second segment, right?
I
Or the
don't even
second-
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we went back to the first one.
I just think because when we talk about these certain episodes, and since this is the very last reunion, it's the very last, show of, this season, I think we're just kind of all over the place. If it's relevant, we discuss it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like the stuff that we are about to talk about, we've already kind of talked about.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So
Can I point out something else? The
Absolutely.
fact that J-Dub came on and had a totally different perspective than anything that we discussed, and we was all like, oh, this is a good way to show the different perspectives
yeah.
and the way that we respectfully disagree.
No doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because when J Dub was like, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I'm just thinking about the whole commentary that Stacey had about 20 minutes ago about the distraction.
Yeah, J Dub was saying Marcia was going at Morgan.
Yeah, I mean, she got overly sensitive about the word, and I mean, like everybody keeps saying, this big grown age, you got to see when people coming for you. You got to see when people trying to bait you or trying to say something that gets at you. I mean, but again, I still didn't see like it was such a big thing. I didn't like the sweetheart. I hate that. I hate to hear that, and it doesn't have to be referring to me. That I don't like that because it's very condescending. But yeah, why engage? And if she having lunch dates with Tony or whatever, then enjoy that, live in the glory of that, and say, because they stay talking behind Morgan's back or whatever. So yeah, just let it be. Let it be.
We
Because
talked about that too.
How y'all really getting upset and all that in real life, that's what they want. They want to see that. They want to see angry black women. They want to see people fighting. That's how if we can freely lose our cool in the real society, we down at the bar, we going to jail. And especially when people got stuff to lose, that don't even make sense by somebody saying words. You gotta, like at this big grown age, you gotta rise above that for real. It's a trap.
Yeah. So Capricorn Moon Goddess says, what was Marcy then, if not a distraction or number two? Like, what was she then?
I think we clearly know that Marcia was number one, but then I also feel like Marcia was just trying to explain to Morgan that it's probably not what you think it is between me and Tony. That's how I took it, because it seemed like Morgan was approaching it as if Marcia was in the picture, as if Tony went back to Marcia and Marcia accepted that, right? Which is why they had to clear that up at the end. But I don't know if Morgan knew that at the time.
She definitely knew. She knew.
So she was purposely going at it.
I mean, it's some bad blood, and I get that Morgan has an issue because I thought it was low class of Tony. 1 minute, yo, I want to talk to you, and he's trying to get into the dressing room, and then he go sit right on the couch with Marcia and talking shit about Morgan with Marcia. That's dirty. That's low.
But you just said it's how you accept it, right?
Accept what? What we talking about?
I'm just messing with you, J-Dub.
Oh, okay. Don't call.
What I'm saying, you just said. No, you just said you can know that people are trying to get at you, but you don't have to respond. But now you're saying that it's okay for her to respond because she's sitting on the couch and all this stuff next to Tony.
Yeah, I'm just saying that rightfully so, Morgan feels some kind of way, and she knows that her and Marcia and Tony talk about her, and she's still connected with this guy or whatever. And it's a little back and forth kind of nippy kind of thing. They going at it. It's really war, but they're just trying to keep it under wraps. And I'm just saying, when you know that, you gotta kind of know what you're dealing with. I'm just saying, I think it's a lack of character with Tony to kind of be playing both sides. Like he's so interested in kind of working it out or clarifying it with Morgan, but he'll sit on the couch with Marcia and talk about Morgan to Marcia, and they throwing shots and jokes. That's not cool. If you don't care about Morgan or you got a problem with her, just leave her alone. You don't have to talk to her. Just leave her alone, like you did. So yeah. Yeah, I mean that should be the definition of Tony, lack of character. Let's put it out there like that. I'm going in. Yeah, I got the mic. Like the same way people didn't really see it for like Natasha, and I think Natasha really put Tony out there for what it was, because at the same time, like as Morgan said, well, a man will just be a man, and there's no accountability there, because at the same time, is it okay? Because I keep seeing the comments where people keep saying at this big grown age that you still being deceptive, manipulative, and tricking women and playing with their emotions, and like you're a good dude and still using it in the name of God, the praying biblical husband, Tony. That's wrong. That's not okay, because you're coming here supposed to be trying to find love, and you're misrepresenting what you're talking about. It's fraudulent. It's not okay. It's not a 20-year-old. It's a 40-year-old.
Mhm. Mm. So y'all got anything else before we go to the next scene about Morgan and Marcia? Them exchanging words. I can't talk in the backstage. Backstage. Sorry, guys. No. Okay, let's move forward. Yeah, I don't. I be having so much to say, and then by the time it's time for me to talk, sometimes I be forgetting because I had a whole lot to say, but I done forgot it. Okay, whatever. Here we go.
Well, just jump in there when because we freestyling kind of.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, we kind of are. All right, y'all ready?
Morgan, stop. What's up? I just want to know what the problem is.
It's no problem. Just don't mention me.
Sweetheart, because every time I say something with your name in it, you get real
That was your
defensive.
first time, and that's why you got
No,
red.
that's not the first time.
It's going down out there? Yeah, Morgan.
They out there arguing.
Told you.
They out there right now arguing?
Baby, so let me tell you something, honey.
Morgan, shut the up, bro.
No, you shut the up. What you think this is? Who
Don't
you
act
talking to?
Chill out.
Don't say shut the up.
Distraction? Did it trigger you, sweetheart? Did it trigger you, baby? You the only one look like a fool on national TV. No, baby. You look like a fool, and you look like somebody's second choice. This is what it's looking like. You looking like a backup. Man, you spilling it. It's the fake love for me. Because 1 minute it's a hey, how you doing? The next minute it's a shut the F up. But you know what, sweetheart? I know the pill was fake, but I still ate it. Because I'm a gremlin.
Morgan.
Green gremlin, baby.
I feel like that escalated like out of nowhere. Like what the hell?
So she's a green gremlin. I thought that was funny.
Do y'all know where that comes from?
Where does it come from?
Kodak Black.
Todd knows. Todd tell him.
Oh, Kodak Black, because I'm a gremlin.
Okay, yeah.
I know that pill was fake, but I still ate it because I'm a gremlin.
Yeah. Kodak Black reference.
Yeah.
It's a song. It's a rap song, Sabrina. See, you don't swim in the trenches and the gutters down here. That's a song.
Yes, some low hanging fruit. She got nerve to be calling somebody low hanging fruit.
And then gonna say she a green grim, like a green goblin, baby.
So did y'all feel like that Morgan was wrong in that instance with Marcia?
Well, I mean, I think the whole situation was wrong. I mean, like I said, they just needed to kind of bring that down, but they were just going back and forth. It kind of came off a little self-righteous and like Morgan couldn't see herself, like, oh, Marcia's attacking me. I mean, y'all cussing and going back and forth. So, don't get like, oh, how could she say that to me? Y'all been doing it. So Like, 1 minute it's fake love. No, y'all were arguing, y'all fighting over Tony, y'all have animosity between each other, and that's what
Mhm.
it is. So don't try to get like, oh, she attacked me.
Yeah. Do y'all have anything? Because like I said, I feel like we've discussed a lot, you know what I mean? But do y'all have anything else with that scene?
I mean, like if we're gonna go backwards, oh man, it's gonna sound bad when I say it, but it just like the whole gremlin comment was like when I really kind of like felt for Morgan, like it felt like one more like attempt to bring herself back up, almost like a cry for help. You know what I mean? I don't mean it that way. Like I really don't. I'm not trying to be shady. You know what I mean?
I don't
But
believe you are. I'm
when
not
you
taking it
start
like
to
No, you're
recognize
trying to be empathetic.
a
Like
series of self, it's almost like a bunch of self motivation. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's just something that we're seeing constantly. But I also feel like there was, a serious lack of understanding of the situation, right? Because she called Marcia, second choice or whatever she said, when that wasn't the case at all. What you gonna say, J Dub?
Thank you, Stacy B, for that laugh. You channeled my exact feelings. It is Ty. You can
Energy.
have your opinion. It was quite ridiculous. I feel for Morgan. Morgan was crying out in that moment. It was probably when the people were picking on her and she was being bullied in the 6th grade. Stop it, Ty. Yes, yes. Morgan has some issues. Yes, Morgan has some trauma because anytime that she can rationalize putting nair in someone's hair, there's some emotional issues going on there. It's like, no, I mean, no, she's operating, she's taking a bath, she's enjoying that gremlin or act that she's doing. She's loving it. There's no need to feel sorry for Morgan at all. She's okay with in the place that she's in. If she wants to play victim for a minute with Marcia, like, oh, she's attacking me. How could she say that to me? Like she's been telling people, Mark Anthony, you shut up. Even though I agree, or I mean, she said something worse than that. But you know, Morgan will speak or demean anybody on that stage, including Tommy, when she feels like it, with no remorse. I feel nothing for Morgan. Morgan needs help, and she needs to seek that. And if not, the bad behavior will just continue, which is absolutely ridiculous and absurd. Because as I said, I'm gonna say it one more time because this is the last season. Nair in the hair. Imagine if a man did that to a woman. We would probably have a 36-hour live marathon on protecting women from domestic violence. My goodness, the double standards of it all. I hate it here sometimes.
Yeah, y'all already know how I feel about the Nair. I've always had a problem with that just because, like, I just felt like, what if he would have? Well, they did. I saw somewhere that he did end up going to the hospital, and he ended up losing like all of his hair. Like, but what if he was allergic to something or some of the chemicals in there or whatever, and like he ended up going blind, or you know what I mean? Like anything could have happened. Like that's just really, really dangerous. And then to kind of just like be like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? About it, like afterwards, it's kind of, I don't know. For me, if I would have done something like that, which I don't think, no, I know I would never do anything like that. I feel like me discussing it back and talking about it or like mentioning it and talking like in the future, I would have some kind of remorse. I would be like, dang, that was so messed up. Like I still can't believe I did that to that person. You know what I mean? But I don't see like that from her. So I feel like
You're
yeah,
right.
like he
Let me jump in there.
he was doing what he was doing, so that's what he got. You know what I mean? But
no, but he wasn't even. She suspected he was doing something, and that's what he got.
Let me
Yeah.
jump in there real quick. I forgot to add another element to it. So
Yeah.
remember, Morgan's brother was with Tony, how he was threatening to pretty much kill Tony or something. You know, I believed him. I believe he's going to perpetuate some type of violence if, you know, Tony did something against Morgan. Now, granted, how would he have felt if a man did that to her? And it'd probably been justified. Like, oh yeah, that's what a brother's supposed to do, protect his sister. And you turn around and do this to somebody's brother or whatever, son or whatever, like, you know, that's not cool. And people downplay, people say, no, we're not standing for it. People brushed past it, didn't give her the smoke like she deserved. I mean, I was like really absurd and ridiculous. As I always said, just switch it around. Just switch it around. Okay, I didn't like something that my girlfriend did, so I cut her hair off at night to let her know I didn't like what she did. Let's just move on. We don't want to talk about
Well,
it. Okay,
I'm just saying that clearly Ty like playing flag football the way he just snatching up all these red flags and putting it in his damn pocket. Because this some foolery, Ty. You can't send everybody a lifeline or a phone a friend because they
Yeah,
acting
I was just about to say that. J-Dub is obviously in the let him drown side of the house. What I'm just talking about what it is. The things can be
let them
mutually.
take their little red flags and try to swim through that water, because that icy water. Because guess what? You make your bed
Right.
sometimes.
But the situation, I feel the situation.
Everything can't be like a.
Stacey, stop cutting Tyrone.
No, Tyrone, I'm done. I'm just done.
But I do feel like the situation.
Like it's Ty, and I just.
I feel Stacey B. I feel her. Yes.
Go ahead, Ty. I'm done. I'm done.
Nope. You go ahead, Stacey. Go ahead. All I'm saying is that the situations, you can look at them as if they're mutually exclusive, right? You can look at the situations, you know, with two different frame of references. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not the one that's just going to bring in my previous biases towards someone and not talk about the current situation. That's all.
Next
question.
question.
All right. Yeah. Let them drown, though, right? Let them drown.
They don't want to be saved. She's, you know, she's the green gremlin is swallowing the pills. She's taking a bath in her dysfunction. She loves it there.
She said,
I love it too.
I knew it was fake, but I still ate it. I'm eating from the tree of fake, from the fake
that
tree.
Could be true. That could be true. She could be enjoying that.
So
and you could also still feel for her because that's how she's acting, right? You, unless you can still sit here and say, I don't care. I'm just not that way. That's all.
She don't care.
That could be true. That could be true. But because she don't care, you could say you don't care. That's not me. But that's not me.
No, but
I get it. I understand.
But Ty, some people don't care, and not in the sense of like, I don't care, but they don't care as in that is their level, like their standard of dealing with things. Sabrina's bar might be up here with how she copes, how she treats people, how she responds to things. Some people's bar is down here, close to where the gremlins live, in the gutters. Because they got sewer on them.
No, I get it. I get it. I've almost been saying that about her all season. I get it.
Oh my gosh. All right. So I don't even, golly, I really don't even know what we're talking about. But the next scene is Tommy talks about Tony breaking the rules. So are we done with the last? Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna pray for Morgan and her
Okay.
safety.
We're gonna pray.
All right, Tony, we're going to address the elephant in the room. Because you broke the rules. You had something going with Miss Natasha after Natasha's journey came to an end.
Grown man.
Oh, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet.
Tell me about that.
Me and Natasha went out a couple of times. We talked. We had a great conversation. She's an amazing woman, and we had a great time together. That's what it was.
But when Natasha left this process, you were then putting attention into Morgan.
At the mixer, me and Morgan had great conversation, but it wasn't that deep with me and Morgan yet.
Natasha, what made you mix up or connect with Tony even though you knew he was still in this process?
He and I exchanged numbers, so we ended up talking that night, and I didn't see any reason to rule it out. Once I confirmed that there was a connection there, then it was time to have that conversation. He asked me, did I want him to leave the show? And I said, the reason why I'm not gonna do that is because I wouldn't want you to tell me to leave.
Tony, if Natasha would have said, yes, I want you to leave this journey, you would have left?
I don't know about that.
There we go. Tony's back.
But you asked her.
I mean, if she said it, I'm not gonna deny it, but I just don't remember that.
Because you don't want to remember it. So my issue with Tony with regard to being the player is the intention. He just ghosted me. He blocks me on social media. I just never heard from him again.
This is slander.
She might got receipts, so shut up.
Where
She
the
got a
receipts
point.
at?
Number one, you knew the deal. You knew I was in this process. And the reason we stopped talking, let's keep it all the way 100, is you told producers that you and I slept together.
Wait. Oh!
So I felt right away that you was looking for clout, or you wanted to blow everything up, or what have you. But you know, I wasn't going to give you that, Natasha. So what I decided to do was not respond to any of your texts, any of your calls, any of your IG messages.
First of all, there were no IG messages. It was one text message where I genuinely was checking on you because people were saying that you had a drinking problem and you're constantly drinking, and I was concerned about that.
I told y'all, don't play with her.
And if you want to blow something up, we could blow it up.
If it wasn't
Listen,
out there,
Tommy,
I was over here not knowing.
Tommy, listen.
And you still
Tommy,
don't know
listen.
anything.
Tommy, listen, man. Listen, Tommy.
And you know what?
I'm speaking now.
You know what?
Tommy,
And
listen.
I don't care
She
because
don't
when
play
they
a
talk,
part in this process, okay? We had our 2-week stance, and
2
that's
week
it.
stand.
Oh, what's the problem with that?
Roy Anthony, hush.
Hush. Listen, I'm not coming on the reunion to assassinate anyone's character.
doubt.
But I was not here to truly find love. If you're telling girls on the show whatever they want to hear just because you want to stay on the show, that's one thing. But it's a problem for me when someone holds themselves out to be a man of God and a good father, and they're not.
We all here for one reason, right? Is to meet that special woman. So I was enjoying myself getting to know the ladies. And it's just that, you know, I haven't found one yet. It's a difference.
Morgan, did you have any idea this was going on with he and Natasha?
At first, no. At some point, he told me he had to come clean about something. And he said that he had some relations with Natasha. And he felt like I should know.
He told me to.
But for what it's worth, I didn't hold it against you. Unfortunately, men will be men.
It's frustrating because he gets to have his cake and eat it too. It's like, oh, well, he's a man. It's not okay for a woman to go through this process and explore and have her heart open, and then to have men that intentionally come on to manipulate and deceive.
All right.
Well, it's right off my sleeve.
Oh.
Real quick.
Okay.
Okay. So first things first. I didn't like how Tony said, you know, you knew what this was or whatever. Like, why are you on a dating show? Why are you sleeping with homegirl outside of the process? What were you looking for a relationship or no? Because if you wasn't, then why was you sleeping with her outside of the process? You know what I'm saying? And then if you was looking for a relationship, then why you playing with her? Like, either way, you was wrong, bro. And then Mark Anthony said, "What's wrong with that?" I'm like, everything. Everything is wrong with that. If you're there for the right reason, everything's wrong with that. Um, as far as like the the clout chasing and all that other stuff, come on, man. Like, bruh, I don't think a woman is going to out herself and make her look like she's less than a lady, right? For the sake of clout. Women don't do that. Like, there's nothing, there was no stakes there for her. So why would she do that? So there's like just all kind of like stuff going on. And then kind of like to tell her, you wasn't nothing but a 2 week stand or whatever. If that is not degradation of a woman, I don't know what it is. I mean, you can't talk to a woman. You should not talk to a woman like that and pretty much belittle her, you know, to say you were nothing but a piece of meat. You was a good time. I got my rocks off. You knew what it was, and I'm done with you. That's not what we do, man. As men, come on, man. I'm done with that.
Way to go, PO. Anybody else? Because I'll go. Anybody else? Because I feel like I'm talking a lot, but I need some catching up to do. Just since I've been so behind, I gotta say, Lyndon and Mark Anthony were extra irritating this episode. I mean, just chiming in like they were trying to find a moment, like they were doing it for the clout. But I guess I really did address this situation already. I was just saying of how low character that Tony is by treating Natasha in this situation the same way. It's not Natasha's a victim. It's just the fact that, one minute, he's like, Natasha's just a beautiful, wonderful woman, the salt of the earth. And then one minute, yeah, we had our time and it was a 2 week stand. That was it. Like he flipped the switch, like in the same breath. And it just shows the lack of character that he has. I've been saying it from the beginning. I know y'all like everybody who comes on the screen. Everybody's a good person. Everybody's well and whatever. I saw Tony from the beginning, from the beginning. Slime ball, scumbag, all that. Write it down, take a picture, do the video of it. That's a problem when you come on this platform and intentionally deceive and manipulate. He wasn't looking for no wife, like he said. I was just, I just, I dabble with the ladies, and I just wanted to have a good time or whatever. In so many words, and that's quite ridiculous. You can do that in the streets. Like you don't gotta come on Ready to Love to do that. In all of the cities, the women outnumber the men. You can play the field all day long till you 63 years old. It's not a problem. But don't come on here faking like I provide, I pray with you, and that's fake, that's fraudulent. And just like Tommy said, I'm finally glad to see that Tommy is standing on what he always said, that the men need to, well, people need to show each other respect. But in this segment, the men need to show women respect. Stop playing with them. You don't gotta play with them. You want to be a player, so be it. Don't come on here talking about you ready to get married and have a family, and you want to just break generational curses and all that other stuff. It's a joke. And like I said, at this point, he's still playing in his mid 40s. Like it ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna change. And like I said, it's quite ridiculous. It's a terrible representation, and a lot of people again have such low expectations. Like this is okay. They'll turn Natasha into the villain. How dare she? Or she didn't. I mean, she didn't out. She didn't out this situation. And why would she? And why would she? And I believe Tony let Morgan know as well as Marcia to try to get in front of it, not because he's so transparent and such an honest man. Yeah, I'm done with it.
Well, I have Tony's.
I respect that.
And he respected. So.
Absolutely.
Well, I will say that, brother to brother. This journey is about finding love. It's not a playing field. It's not a place to come run game.
Absolutely.
So all you brothers out there got to get it together, especially with our black women, because they've been holding our black asses up for a long ass time.
We tired.
Thank you. Tell him, Tommy.
That's
So that was his message. And just to let you guys know, the reason I'm not showing so much of the reunion is because I got flagged on my last video for showing like 30 seconds of the clip. So that's why. But yep. So anything else about Tony and Natasha?
I'm waiting on Ty to send a raft of empathy to Tony, because it sounded like he has some subconscious insecurities, which is why he feels like he needs to play so many women to boost up his ego. I feel like, Ty, we're missing an opportunity to save someone else here too. Let's save the Ty sex. Send it in. We on Titanic. Send it on in.
Oh man, I don't even know how to. Okay. Well, obviously, I can't say too much because I'd be a hypocrite if I say anything too bad about dating someone outside the process and allowing someone to continue with their process, right? That would make me.
So you were smashing outside of the process?
That would make me a hypocrite. I didn't say that.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
What you doing then, Ty? Where was the raft? Where was your raft at? Did your raft have a what you call that thing where you can you just pop it in the bed, the little bed you put on the ground and it fills up with air? The little mattress, the air mattress. You got an air mattress on that raft. You got the air. you saving them with that kind of raft.
That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is I was aware of someone continuing the process, right? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I mean the journey. Huh?
Just sickening. Just sickening. And first of all, let's talk about it. Natasha is an attorney. One thing we know about attorneys is they're not gonna give you the evidence first, and then you make a case against them. So I am fairly confident to say that Natasha did not volunteer this information up there. Then what grown man with kids talking about you a 2-week stand, not a one-night stand, but a 2-week stand? That's a whole relationship damn near. Like, what are you talking about? A 2-week stand? You doing more than standing over 2 weeks? I damn near got a toothbrush at your house in 2 weeks, honey. Don't play with it. Like, what is he talk? He's just talking to talk to justify his foolishness, because we can excuse a drunken one-night stand here and there, maybe. But bruh done tried to get it past us with a 2-week stand. Then what are you talking about chasing clout? Who, sir? Ain't nobody heard of Tony. We don't even know your last name. So what kind of clout she trying to chase to be with you? I just want to know for those of us in the back of the congregation, because I didn't. What does he do? What is his occupation? Like, is it something big, like cloutful, like clout worthy?
I think he's a tax accountant or something like that.
Yeah, in taxation.
Yeah.
But he also did say that he told Marcia and he told Morgan that him and Natasha had relations.
It doesn't matter if you say, yeah, I had sex with this girl and you next. That doesn't help the cause here. It's like you know, okay, yes, you can be honest and say, you know, I just, you know, I had to get warmed up or fluffed for the process. You know, I had to, you know, get my first round off, you know what I mean? Now I'm ready to go for you. Like, come on, man. This is a whole television like show. And you're taking these women down like, you know, like this is a what you call it, a cage match. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that.
And Natasha said she did not tell the producers. She came on our live on Friday, and she did hop on the screen with us, so you guys can check out that live watch party that we did for part 2. And she came on the screen and said she did not tell producers.
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna say this. A man who constantly wears his shirt unbuttoned to the third button, even when he has one of them little vest things on. My mama just said, don't trust them kind of men, honey. So I just feel like, what clout? I just want to know what clout. Ty. And you send out from the Titanic a super saver raft to rescue the clout, because we want to know where the clout at that everybody chasing right now. So if you can send a raft out to find the clout and save the clout so we can have an idea of what they talking about, let me know.
You know what? You know what would have been? I'm so sorry. No, I was just gonna say one thing that I would have liked to have saw, and would have went over very decently for Tony, is in that moment. You know, he could have had an apology. You know, yes, you know what? I'm sorry. You know, I went outside of the process, and maybe talked to Natasha and said, hey, you know what? I apologize for bringing you or even participating in that. I knew that, you know, that was something that I shouldn't have done, especially knowing that I was in the process. You know, you have to have some sort of awareness, but you blamed her and you said you knew what it was. And yeah, it was just a 12-night stand or a 2-day or 2-week stand or whatever, right? And that type of belittling, right? That type of unraveling of a woman when you're talking about, you know, a woman's body, and, you know, I think that that's the most valuable thing that a woman has. And you tell her on national TV, all I was doing was ripping that off you for a couple weeks, and then I handed it back to the streets. Come on, man.
Gosh. Well, when you say it like that, Theo.
I mean, that's the way it came off, though.
Right, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, you still have to maintain, you know, some sort of, I don't know, like man stuff. Like, you know, you got to stand as a man and be like, yo, I own this stuff. I did that. I was wrong. I probably should never have done that anyway.
But standing as a man, I mean, I can't speak as a man, but I'm still just like, we too damn grown to be kissing and telling. Like, even if word would have got out and I knew this dude, like, this was just like a mishap between us, and he's seriously trying to pursue somebody else, I wouldn't have let it. I would have been like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, what? And then I would have kept it 100 with her who mattered, but I wouldn't try to embarrass another woman either. You know what I mean? Like, and then, like, who just want to be on TV looking like an absolute floozy? Like, Sabrina, where were we earlier in the season where we're like appalled at all the lip locking and the slob and the spit and all the lips and girl, child, honey, child. We talking about the bang, bang, bang right here. Like, that ain't not, like, that's not, we're women. Like, that's not something we about to be putting out there like that, because we about to look, because of the double standards, we are the ones that's gonna look loose. other than a good.
Yeah, I would have felt some type of way, because my thing is, and let's discuss this real quick, because my thing is I feel like the reason why he told Marcia and Morgan, because I felt like it was going to come out, because I felt like he was having bro talk with the bros in the lounge or wherever. And yeah, and I think he felt like it was about to go out, because he realized Lyndon really wasn't his bro and such really wasn't his bro. And he like, oh dang, like I'd have been running my mouth. Because my thing is if you felt comfortable enough with going back and telling Morgan and Marcia that you smashed Natasha, then what makes me feel like that you weren't that comfortable with telling the guys? You know what I mean? So
no,
I mean,
look at him.
It just is so disappointing. Because I'm gonna say this, when it comes to stuff like that in my love life and my intimate life, I'm very private. I don't care how many people know. People come and ask me and bring up, did y'all smash? I'm gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about, because in real life, it's my personal business. So if I want to lie about it, then I'm gonna lie about it. That's on me, because I probably don't want my business out there. But you know, it's just crazy how it unfolded on national TV. But had somebody asked me, you know, like Tony would have looked right in my face and said, well, let's keep it 100. Sabrina, you told producers we had sex. I would have been like, I don't know what you're talking about, because we've never had sex. Like, who are you? Like, you better stop capping. I would have lied to the lie. You're not going to have me out here making me seem like I'm throwing my vajayjay all over the place, all over to the cast members and stuff, telling producers about what it looked like, how it smelled. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
The hell? No, I ain't had sex with. I don't even have your phone number. I don't got no receipts, because it ain't none to have. How about that?
And then here's the thing, though. This is a proud moment for Tony. If we go back and we look at every time he talks about it, he gets that little devilish look, like, you know, it's a proud moment, and you know.
So, well, like I believe Morgan, was it Morgan who said Tony's a man's man or whatever? So he was back there puffing up his chest. Yeah, I knocked old girl down. Tell you the truth, if Marcy was still here, I would just pass old girl over here, because this
I
ain't
already
nothing.
smashed Morgan.
This ain't hard for me. I'm getting it how I get it, because I'm T2000 from the BK. Or wherever he's from, whatever he's saying, hell, puffing up his chest. Oh, y'all heard me say Mighty Mouse? They heard me call him in my.
But the thing is we all assume that Tony and Morgan had relations, but we never heard it for fact on the show. So why we hear about him and Natasha?
Well, Tony told, didn't he tell Morgan? Oh yeah, you know I like to eat. You know I like to eat, Morgan.
Oh yeah, you know how.
Yeah, but he wasn't like, Natasha, you remember that night? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you why. Because by the end, he recognized the star power that Morgan has. So as an opportunist, you're going to try to align yourself with the person that's going to get you the furthest, that presents the best opportunity for you. Because Natasha had already gotten eliminated, there was no opportunity for him there, right? Who of course he would act like he's super interested in Morgan and taking her on the long ride to glory, because he needs to align himself with her, because it gives him more airtime. Like, let's call it what it is. He talking about somebody.
He got played.
He talking about somebody chasing clout, and he the one chasing clout. Baby, bye, boom, bye. I'm sorry for interrupting. I thought I was on mute earlier. My bad, Sabrina. You know I be over here.
No, it's okay.
My bad.
It's cool. Tyrone, what you got?
Yes, Tony's approach to the process was trash. Right? As someone that approached it seriously, his approach is trash. He ain't the first person to have a trash process. He won't be the last person If they didn't really want it that way, they would put more emphasis on it not being that way. But they don't. If we're looking at it from the outside in, one of the main reasons why we're even feeling some type of way was Tony's approach and what he said at the reunion. But if you look at it, we were asking this question a lot. What's it going to take for Morgan to walk away? Apparently, all that was okay. She was still willing to date. So what's Tony supposed to do about that? If a woman's going to accept it, he going to do it. If we watch Natasha's response, Natasha didn't even seem that upset that it happened. She was basically saying, it is what it is. I'm grown. I do what I wanted to do. That's what it is. And even Marcia moved on about it. So all three women that had a part in it have all moved on. So when I was asking these questions earlier about what is the limit for a trash guy, like I even said, the trash guys keep winning. Why? And
Well,
I keep saying, go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you think that though? I mean, do you feel like those women should have been broken? Like, they had to be okay because it happened, and they couldn't sit there and cry in the corner, like, and just be like, "Oh my goodness, did this just play out?" However, what we saw is what we saw, but what people actually deal with is something totally different. So you might have somebody that, yes, this happened, but how do they really process it afterwards? Because I know for me, when a reunion was over in certain situations, I was like, I got to my room and I was pissed, and I wanted to go whoop ass literally afterwards. But I was just like, okay, it is what it is. You can't turn the cameras back on and be like, yo, let me put this part in there. You know what I'm saying? So the aftermathematics of it, we don't know what they went through after that.
We
I need,
know
I need to.
that she was well aware of what happened. And we knew that even though she chose herself, she still continued to see him. We do
That's
know
true.
that, right? So I was asking, what is the cutoff, right? What's it gonna take to walk away? Um, and then since we were talking about what was going on, there are a lot of things that the cast members know that we don't know. They're speaking in a language that they're aware of. In all actuality, we saw their approach from the beginning. J Dub called it from the beginning. We were calling out Tony's approach. We were calling out Mark Anthony's approach. And in all honesty, I feel like Morgan's response to Mark Anthony, when Mark Anthony chimed in to try to defend Tony, was justified because Mark Anthony knew that his man was about to get skewered for what he was doing and been trying to protect him the entire time. So if the show doesn't want these situations to happen, if they're really truly frowned upon, then they would do something more about it. But we'll see next season, right? This gives us something to talk about.
Well,
Let me get in here real quick. Let me get
brother.
in here real quick.
Go
I
ahead.
ain't gonna be long at all. The fact of the matter is, we're kind of getting off course. We're talking about the character of Tony. We don't want to blame production or the other women, and we're not making anyone victims. We're just saying, like, anyone who supports Tony with actions, who will think he's a good guy, or thinking that he shouldn't have accountability for his actions, like I said, it's quite ridiculous. It's you can't let him off. You can let him off the hook because we can go deep. Maybe Tony, they didn't let him play with his truck in the sandbox, and we can do all of that. But just the fact of the matter is that, again, this man is professing to be a godly, praying man who provides and protects and who's looking to get married in 32 days and all that. We talking about that. That's fake. That's deceptive. That's manipulative. Stick to that with Tony. Let's stay right there. That's a problem. That is a problem. We don't want to go, oh yeah, Tony mom didn't hug him long enough and give him a peanut butter and jelly and all that kind of stuff for lunch. What is Tony doing? How is he being accountable? He's not. He's blaming everybody. He's demeaning the women. All of that. That's ridiculous. Again, we're not talking about some 20-something-year-old who's still developing as a man. He's intentionally deceiving, manipulating these women. Not that they're victims. They're willing participants. They love players. The production loves players. Tony is not being held accountable. He's not a good guy. And I'm just being nice right now. I'm done.
Amen.
I think a lot of people weren't held accountable this season. This season was just, I feel like out of all the seasons this season, and I knew it, this season wasn't a show of its own. That's how I feel. And I just feel like it was a lot of stuff that I wish production would have made Tommy address, and they did not. And it was very disappointing, you know. Just an unfortunate situation. But make sure you guys hit that like button. Sorry, Tyrone.
Yeah, there were some things that were brought to the forefront this season.
Thank you.
That happen every season, not justifying anyone's actions. But I wonder what they're going to do next season when a situation like this happens.
Yeah.
Again, I call this season Ready to Love Pimps and Hoes edition. And I'm sorry.
That's Jesus. Oh my
no. Saying that, no, I'm telling you. Because what I'm saying
God
is that you have people that come in with that sort of mind state that I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go do my thing with all these women and I'm going to pimp and go and act like this is the streets. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it.
You gotta call it how you see it. It's like
it's still in a knot with that one, Paul. I think we could have rephrased that one a little better than that.
That's what it is.
That was the nice version of what I wanted to say.
You're in the room.
If you want to be a pimp, be a pimp. Ain't nobody who was worthy of pimp status. Dang. Yeah.
You're in the room with all the guys at the beginning. And the guy, like, you can tell which guy is gonna do what. And there have been multiple people that have sat on the couch that have been with multiple people during the season. Mm-hmm. We just don't hear about it. We literally have people switch couches. They switch couches during the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
So
wait, they switch. Wait, what?
I said, we've had someone literally switch couches during the reunion to be with someone else.
Yeah, Mario and Reva.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we know that. But I thought you was talking about your season specifically. I was like, who was switching? Y'all have people not showing up. Like, y'all. Well, that didn't happen in the great state of Texas. Let me tell you, darling.
Yeah, y'all had wasn't that the one where y'all had the pregnant woman on there looking for love?
That was the one before me, and she's a wonderful person. Her baby's beautiful.
And I'm not saying she not, but she was still
pregnant. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, I didn't think you were being anything.
Yeah. You know I'm not.
I was like, no, I don't have enough information regarding that. I'm still shooketh of this one right here, this man right here above me, eating them damn nuts, talking about people busting the planners. Like, what?
That's because he got on his shirt that he needs to, for this little commercial break, you need to promote your shirt, P.O. What do you have on?
Did he change shirts? I feel
Yeah,
like it
so
was a darker color earlier.
This is called P. Taylor. This is my name. This is P. Taylor, my signature. And then the French edition, the French stuff, the stuff coming from France. I'm telling you, it's going to launch. It's going to be off the chain.
Where can people pre-order your?
No, just make sure you stay following me on IG, and I'm going to put all of the stuff up there. It's going to be big.
Okay.
So
I love the shirt. I love the
thank
color.
you.
I love the signature. I love everything.
Shout out to Fabrice.
Did he make your shirt?
No, but he in France with the rest of the players.
Oh yeah, that's where, yeah.
I knew it was fake, but I still ate it because I'm a gremlin.
I mean, but Paul, I'm sure you could tell who the players were on day one, right? At the very first.
Yeah, I knew what it was, and I kept trying every episode to get past that and give people passes. And I kept seeing it over and over and over and over and over. And unfortunately, right? Because let's just be clear here. If you slept with more than one woman in this process, what is that saying? If you slept with more than two women in this process,
that he's a pimp and a hoe.
Okay.
How many guys would be left though? You know what? I ain't even gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there.
I'm the same.
I just be feeling like with Ready to Love, I feel like the circle is so small. I feel like everybody be smashing everybody, and then it be people from other seasons that be smashing other people from other seasons, and it's just a whole Ready to Love smash-a-thon going on. I don't know. I just don't like it.
We don't feel like we're released from the process still.
Maybe that's it.
The process got bigger. That's all.
Yeah, like it's a like the stuff that I know and the stuff that I be hearing, I just be like, I'm just gonna say to myself.
Like Stacey, you look like you can't fathom that.
No, it's bad.
I really no. I really can't fathom it. Like I'm like, so people are just like for me, I just feel like I couldn't seriously consider anybody from any season because I see how things go, so I'm gonna question your motives, and I don't want to be the only, like me and Sabrina, we the only ones, ain't nobody smashed, you know. It's more. I mean, it's more to it, but I can only speak to the two of us that's here today. Like I don't want nobody being like putting Stacey on the smash and pass list. Like I don't even no, you will not have the pleasure and honor, sir. I will not join that side. No, that's like, I'm just like so appalled. Like I want to go walk and get my pearls. Matter of fact, let me go get them because this is just too much for me. Find my holy water too. I can't take this. Y'all got me shook it. Like I'm all the way I was playing earlier about Titanic, but I mean Tyrone Tannic. But it's too much for me. Like I can't.
So Miss Pretty Amazing, and she's out. Miss Pretty Amazing asked Sabrina, who would you date from this season? Nobody. Next question. I wouldn't date nobody from Ready to Love. I don't think, period. I just don't feel it. Like it would have to be somebody so great where I'm like, the reason he and I are dating is because this is the last man I want to be dating. Like he would have to be that person for me to date somebody from Ready to Love. But for me to just be like, I'm dating somebody from Ready to, like, I just feel like it's 4 billion people in the world, and I got to pick somebody from Ready to Love. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I do, like I said, it would have to be somebody really, truly amazing. Like that's about to be my husband. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, we got to get out of the fact that we in this process. People think we in it for life. When the reunion's over, the process is all the way over.
Yeah.
Stacey, you want to date Fabrice?
Mm.
Fabrice.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know what that is?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay, no worries.
Child, Febreze and bounce sheets, honey.
What is Febreze and bounce sheets? Like, what am I missing something else? Oh my
Nope.
God, what happened when I was gone?
Let's move forward. Nothing happened, child. Nothing. Because it ain't even worth the conversation, child. He talking about Febreze, the French man that talked about sex the whole time on the show, on this season.
Baby, I forgot about that name. Did he come to the reunion? I didn't see him yesterday.
He was on the screen. He did like a short video and told the women, you can't act like that. You don't talk about sex. The women talk about sex more than we talk about sex. Sex is good. Sex is everywhere. We should be happy with sex. I am happy in a relationship having sex.
He's
be
in
well.
a relationship?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
should. Just don't say that shit on TV.
Yeah. See, I missed that. I guess I missed that from the last panel or whatever. We were talking about Fabrice because that was Corvea's ideal man. And like, I hear in the YouTube streets, the women like, I mean, that's right. You should have standards and it's nothing wrong with wanting what you want, it just sounds a little shallow and gold diggerish when you say, what were you looking for, man? I was always looking for a man that built the business and sold it. That's my soulmate. You know how ridiculous that sound, and people signing off on
Right,
that.
like,
It
yeah,
sounds,
girl. I ain't
that's
never
that's
thought
a
of
part of
that.
the character. That's the type of husband she's been dreaming of. A guy who has built and sold a business. Those are the types of husband traits that she's looking
Right.
for.
Like,
I
I'm
just
looking
feel
for
like if we're I know who Fabrice is. I just feel like if we are both gonna go and get our bikini lines waxed at the same time, like you can't be my man.
I don't think
That's because Fabrice wear those tight ass tedentadens.
I don't think so. I feel like he's very hairy down there.
You think he's hairy?
I think he's very hairy. I think he's very hairy, and I don't think he wears deodorant. That's how I kind of see him. But I don't think he stinks.
These guys like him that be out there on the beach in Speedos.
Yeah, in Speedos, and I feel like he don't stink. I feel like he don't got no other hair on his arms and his legs, and he got baby smooth skin. That's how I see him.
So with the baby smooth skin, does he smell like the pink baby lotion?
No, I think he smells like very expensive cologne.
Like
pink
Strong
baby
J.
lotion
He
and
smell like Strong J.
Straight up, come back.
This conversation is absurd.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all know I be going to the left. My brain, I have a very creative mind. Creative people, we just think weird. So anyway, moving forward. Anthony and Cynthia discuss if their love is still going strong.
Why are we still putting love next to any of these couples?
What's going on with the body language?
I don't know.
The fact that I can actually see myself outside the journey moving forward with her also was another reason, but kind of led me into the direction I went into.
So Anthony, tell me what took place after the journey stopped.
Some dating, getting a chance to spend some time together. You really get to know somebody outside of the journey,
Oh, definitely. When it's day to day?
Yeah, the good, the bad, the home life, have to make time for each other.
Cynthia?
Yeah, I definitely feel like when something is great, it's going to be challenged. And two people that want the same thing, they're going to stand the test of time.
So y'all talk to Tom, man. Y'all currently still dating? Don't nobody know?
It's certain things about Anthony that I've never experienced and is a growing process for me. And it was times when we was going through our challenges, I didn't handle it correctly. Well, I didn't handle him correctly. And going through this journey with Anthony, I realized that I was emotionally unavailable.
Man, this is a lot.
kind of like took a step back because that's best to be the best woman that I can be for Anthony because he is a great guy and he deserved that. And I want to do that for him.
Anthony, how do you feel about that decision?
I think it was a very mature thing. We're all gonna have our flaws, you know what I mean? So it just depends on how we tackle it, acknowledge it, and we work on it.
Get to it, Anthony. Damn. Y'all talking or not?
So being able to take acknowledgement and say, you know what, I need to work on this in order for me to be a better person for you, you can't do anything but respect it. So hopefully she does what she says she's gonna do, and we'll build a friendship.
I will, babe, I will.
I will, babe. I will.
She ain't coming back. That was a friend zone. You know, that was the nicest way to friend zone him all the way. So I have to ask, what happened for you to make her unemotionally available? Because she was ready to love. And, you know, she came out, you know, with the little thing at the end of the show. You know, she was saying to herself, her brother, you know, and talking, you know, to his family, you know, I want to do this and, you know, I'm here, I'm ready to go. And then all of a sudden you came up short somehow and you made her unemotionally available. What happened?
J-Dub, what happened?
Yeah, I need you to tell me what happened, J-Dub.
Thank you. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this one. I'm going to let me take a bath in how Morgan takes a bath in her toxicity, just loving and enjoying it. If I ain't told y'all from the beginning, guess what? I'm gonna jump out there. I was a Cynthia fan as well, but I always said Cynthia comes off as fake deep. She's talking a lot, ain't saying nothing. You know, we don't have anything to do with, oh, Cynthia's gorgeous. She knows how to express herself and all of that. I told y'all she wasn't about nothing. P.O. posed the question, what did Anthony do to make Cynthia become emotionally unavailable? Cynthia was already emotionally unavailable. Anthony had nothing to do with that. And guess what? We hear, I'm no Anthony fan. I'm with her baby daddy, Trinidad James. Anthony is suspect. I stand on that. That's where it's at. But Cynthia's been playing y'all this whole time. Y'all been eating it up, loving it. And even so much so, Andre peeked out her BS. She's just talking. That's game. And so much so that Cynthia has that masculine energy to jump out. I forgot my man name who was with Sharice or whatever. When you get a man or a woman who always, every time you walk in the room, oh yeah, so let's talk about, you know, our upcoming wedding, or this is my fiance, or you know, when we get married, or my future husband. Men and women who run game like that ain't about nothing. And that was Cynthia, regardless of her bubbly personality, her drop dead gorgeous looks. Yes, Samson. She pulled a Samson. Every time she talking about, oh, this is my husband, my future husband, when we get married. That's all game. She played Anthony. She played him. She played him. She played him. Um, and they kind of glazed over, brushed over exactly what happened in the relationship. I'm sure that when they went to do the Netflix and chill, that her baby daddy Trinidad James was on the other side of the couch. You know, as Sabrina told me, but she saw me in the comments on Kojo, because I was putting in the comments, Cynthia, just bring your baby daddy right on the screen, please, because we know he in the house. He upstairs at your work desk eating cinnamon toast crunch as we speak. I'm done.
Tyrone.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Damn.
I mean, how do you follow that up?
Right.
I think I got two theories. One is I think there's something that happened or didn't happen with Anthony that is making Cynthia second guess everything that's going on. He did admit that there were things that he had to work on. So something is happening, or something is not happening, that's making Cynthia unhappy. I feel like she was always emotional. One thing I realized is that in the process, for some people, there's a lot of things that you go through emotionally, and some people figure out a lot of things about themselves. And I feel like there was a lot of things that she figured out about herself. And a lot of times after this process, once you figure all that out, you kind of want a clean slate when it comes to dating. You want a clean slate when it comes to relationships, because sometimes you truly want to kind of prove that you did figure it all out. And I feel like once she did, it seems like Anthony wasn't her person completely. And since he was messing up, it made it harder for her to stick around. But I'm not gonna sit here and say she ain't never liked him from the beginning and that it was game and all that.
Stacey B, what you got?
Let me tell you something now. I actually enjoyed Cynthia, and I enjoyed Anthony. And what I feel like is by her body language, like sometimes when we're like sitting away from somebody, it's because we're trying not to hear what they got to say. But it was like a docile like turn. So it made me believe that maybe she popped off on Anthony. She did, like, maybe something went down between the two of them that she's embarrassed about her actions. That's why the whole thing was, I need to work on some things. I need to work on, a situation. So like in this one, guys, y'all are being overly sensitive to the woman. But I feel like maybe in this case, when P.O.'s like, what did Anthony do wrong? I think that maybe it was something, and I'm a Cynthia stan. So I feel like something went down that maybe she could have handled better. It was embarrassing to her. Anthony may have forgiven her, or maybe in a good place. Like, he doesn't want to embarrass her about it. Like, or neither one of them, to be fair, neither one of them want to be embarrassed about it. But she's just like, you can tell, like, it's not I don't think that it was something all the way crazy. I just think that this is something like we don't want to bring to the public light. It's kind of embarrassing. Like, let's not discuss it, but let's do so gracefully.
So he didn't deliver? Is that what we're saying, or what?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
That was my first thought. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. That was my first thought.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've seen that kind of situation play out. You know what I mean? And you like, somebody's not feeling something. I mean,
it's always something.
I'm just saying the way that she worded it. I mean, if we listen to that back again,
You get my reference, J-Dub, right?
The way that she's talking about it is like, the way that she's talking about it is like, this wasn't it for me. And she said, I need to reevaluate myself after this or whatever. I don't know.
Her word to her, the conversation was that we talked about, you're right, I need to work on some things with me.
No, but
I wasn't ready. I need to work on some things.
You said there was something that happened with him.
I said it was something that happened between the two of them.
Can we run that? Just skip back just one more time. And then let me do.
Run it back and run it.
Here we go. Let's go.
Run it, Pete Taylor.
We need a better assessment on this.
Assess it down.
Because
that man Caribbean or something. I ain't even questioning what his skills.
I mean, you don't.
I mean, we was joking about it backstage. Like, what's his max bench? Because Let me stop playing.
Here we go. Let's hear it. I mean, he seems like, he's a nice guy and all. It seems like she's like, yeah, you're a real sweetheart, but, there's some things that you just didn't show up on, and I wasn't really there for that.
And through the work that she had done it herself, that kind of sealed the deal for me.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, what made you finally choose Cynthia at the end?
First of all, we chose each other in the end.
What's going on with the body language?
The fact that I can actually see myself outside the journey moving forward with her also was another reason, but, kind of led me into the direction I went into.
So, Anthony, tell me what took place after the journey stopped.
Some dating, getting a chance to spend some time together. You really get to know somebody outside of the journey,
Oh, definitely. When it's day to day?
Yeah, the good, the bad, the home life, have to make time for each other.
Cynthia?
Yeah, I definitely feel like when something is great, it's going to be challenged. And two people that want the same thing, they're going to stand the test of time.
So y'all talk to Tommy. Are y'all currently still dating? Don't nobody know?
It's certain things about Anthony that I've never experienced.
Pause,
and is a growing process for me. And it was
There's certain things about Anthony that I've never experienced.
Go finish saying it. Finish. Listen to the rest of it. Play the rest, Sabrina. Play the
times when we
rest.
was going through our challenges, I didn't handle it correctly. Well, I didn't handle him correctly. And going through this journey with Anthony, I realized that I was emotionally unavailable.
That man, this is a lot.
Kind of like took a step back because that's best.
Listen to her voice. You
Time
can
out.
hear her voice like breaking.
To me, it sounds like they had a situation, whatever it may be, where he may have been doing his best and in that space. And she was like, yo, I'm not here for this. And, whatever that was, right? And said, you know what? This was her way of nicely bowing out and saying, I'm out. You gotta look, if you look at her on the couch, when she's responding to him, normally when people can face somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like they talk to you. If I'm so disgusted with you and I'm like,
not disgusted, hurt. If
hurt.
I haven't,
She's the one that said, she's the one that stepped off.
You on the BS. You on the BS because if you dealing with, let's just, for kicks and giggles, since I gotta be the man here, and you clearly are, what's the pill color? I got the red pill, he got the pink pill. What pills we on right now? So clearly, since I gotta have the other pill that you need to be having right now, for kicks and giggles, let's say he's a genuinely nice, good guy.
He is a nice guy.
Let's say we just heard J-Dub talk about Fruit Loops, Cheerios, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Apple Jacks, whoever he called them. Rick Ross, Trinidad James. We just heard J-Dub talk about. So say Anthony was put in a situation. Now, mind you, Anthony is a medical professional. He can write prescriptions, right? He just step under a doctor, right? He's put in a situation where he's like, what in the, like, I don't do all this. She's embarrassed. He's embarrassed. She seemed apologetic. Like, to me, if I'm really hurt and I'm trying to make it up to you or something, and I'm not looking at you, every time I look at you, I might cry.
She's not hurt.
Can I see you?
Nah, she's talking.
No, you wrong. You off base. Now listen.
Turns their back on you and tell you, hold on. Listen, let me just explain this to you. And you're a woman. You should know this. If you're sitting here, hold on. If you're sitting here,
you're a woman.
You're a woman and you walk away from me, right? You walk away from me and then you sit over there and you turn and you talk to me like this with your back, giving me your back. You're pissed off about something. It ain't saying I'm hurt. That's saying I'm pissed off. I ain't trying to.
No, I am in fact a woman.
I know you are.
I don't just relate to being a woman. I'm a whole childbearing ass woman.
Exactly.
In certain cases, if I am hurt that I hurt you, and you haven't fully, forgiven me, and we still like in gray space, and I'm still shamed, like I'm still like I'm embarrassed that this shit happened. Like, oh my God, like every time I see him, I have a flashback and I'm so ashamed. Every time I think that it was hard because Cynthia, what we learned about her, she's a very controlled woman. She does not like to express emotions.
Understood.
I can relate to that. I do not like to cry in front of people and all of that.
Let me tell you something.
If I turn my back on you, it's not.
I gotta jump in it. I'm sorry, Stacey. PO, you are interrupting Stacey B. Let her talk, please. Sir.
I'm done. Let him interrupt. You talk. You just talk. Because sometimes women
I just got one thing. As men, and Ty and J-Dub, you both have to agree with this. Anytime a person gives you their back, that's a symbol of disrespect. Am I right?
No.
Am I right? If I'm talking to you, J-Dub, and I give you my back, like, what? Whatever. Like, it's kind of like a disrespecting, like, man, I ain't worried about you. I ain't, You know what I mean? It's that type of situation. So
yes, we perceive that we're right on the same page with that.
Yeah,
However, you're pulling a Tony. You're over talking Stacey. Let her talk. Let her finish.
Yeah.
And then
Considering the
you can do
circumstance.
it.
Yeah, and I think she would have understood that, and he would have said something as well to change that. So if that hasn't been changed, then there's something more serious going on that we aren't seeing or understanding, and we're just too focused on her body language. You might be reading too much into it, Paul.
But body language speaks more than the actual language itself. That's been proven. Some say it's 55, some people say it's 85, but it's absolutely true. Your body gives off how you're feeling and what you're telling, and some people can't hide it at all.
Right.
They say she was having a dress malfunction.
True, but yeah, I was just about to say that. It was a wardrobe malfunction that made her sit that way.
Because if you notice throughout the whole, because I actually watched it again to see what was going on with her dress, you notice when she sat, her hand stayed right here. It was like her dress was splitting, and I think it split too high up because she was holding that side of her dress the whole time. And I think when she was in the front, she wasn't in the back anymore. She was in the front. She didn't want to sit like this because it was up too high at that point. That's what it looked like to me, because her hand was there the whole time.
So then
please highlight Mary Payne's comment.
And let me drop my mic.
Oh, shoot. Golly. It's getting, Lord have mercy.
Stacey, you should have understood that, though. As a woman.
How we do it? I apologize on the behalf of PO. The way he treated Stacey was unfairly. If you want to talk, you got to let other people talk too. It's not.
And you're absolutely right. I apologize, Stacey.
Stacey, you didn't understand that as a woman?
Ty, as a woman, he felt like I didn't understand how women, respond. So I feel like I nominate PO. I nominate you to send the rescue Thai raft from the Titanic over to PO and send him a rescue line. Talking about Stacey as a woman, you should know. What the, did you give birth?
I'm just saying.
The hell you know as a woman. How you gonna sit here and try to chastise?
I raised two of them.
You might have raised two of them, but guess what? You ain't do birth two of them, baby. Let me tell you something.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
Baby, don't play with me.
So, absolutely right. And regardless of what J-Dub had Sabrina put up on the screen, I'm still going to say that's cap. That's cap.
He just can't admit it. Oh my God.
I'm going to say that's cap. The thing is okay. why would she want to cry if she walked away? What was, because she did something for such a shallow reason that, you know, she knew that the man had good intention. However, there was other expectations that he couldn't meet, whatever they were for her. Is that what it was? I'm just saying.
Come on, Paul. She not turning her back to that man on
She
purpose.
said it. She said she turned her back to that man because she didn't want to cry from out of her own mouth.
But you're saying something totally different.
No, so what I'm saying is this. Follow me on this one. If you have a situation where two people fall out, okay, and Anthony being the person that is not guilty as charged, like he didn't do anything. Basically, she's saying he didn't do anything wrong for me to want to walk away. This is a me thing. And then she gets there and turns her back on him because she don't want to look at him and cry. Right? Then what is the reason as to why she walked away from a good man? Do you understand what I'm saying? A good man, well-to-do, that came there ready to love her, only for her to walk away from him. Where's the disconnect at? Because
the disconnect is in your brain because you talking about she walked away. And clearly he walked away because she said, babe, I'm gonna work on me and come back. Like I'm gonna try to fix what. So clearly he had sometimes PO.
Flag on the play.
You was
He
right.
didn't walk away. Did he walk away from her? Is that what we just saw?
Rewind that because he said, yeah, you work on it or whatever he said, Sabrina. His verbiage, what he said.
Really get to know somebody outside of the journey, you know.
Oh, definitely. When it's day to day.
Yeah, the good, the bad, the home life, you know, have to make time for each other.
Cynthia?
Yeah, I definitely feel like when something is great, it's going to be challenged. And two people that want the same thing, they're going to stand the test of time.
So y'all talk to Tommy. Are y'all currently still dating? Don't nobody know?
It's certain things about Anthony that I've never experienced and is a growing process for me. And it was times when we was going through our challenges, I didn't handle it correctly. Well, I didn't handle him correctly. And going through this journey with Anthony, I realized that I was emotionally unavailable.
What? Man, this is a lot.
Kind of like took a step back because that's best, to be the best woman that I can be for Anthony, because he is a great guy and he deserved that. And I want to do that for him.
Anthony, how do you feel about that decision?
I think it was a very mature thing. We're all going to have our flaws, you know what I mean? So it just depends on how we tackle it, acknowledge it, and we work on it.
Get to it, Anthony. Damn. Y'all talking or not?
So being able to take acknowledgement and say, you know what, I need to work on this in order for me to be a better person for you. You can't do anything but respect it. So hopefully she does what she says she's going to do. And we'll build a friendship.
I will, babe, I will.
What's T?
They're not going to watch it.
Why y'all trying?
Now,
And he said, you work on you and we can build a friendship.
She walked away from him. That's what we were just listening to. She's the one that said, I am not emotionally available. Now, this is a good guy. He's been completely respectful to these ladies, right? He's been, you know, he offered himself up to her after the show, right? He didn't do anything wrong that by admission on her end. She said there were certain things about him that she didn't, you know, couldn't handle, couldn't deal with, and realized by way of that I am not emotionally available enough to deal with this. So I need to take a pause, get my stuff together, and then I'll holler back. Basically meaning I'm out. This is my polite way to say goodbye. And, you know, I hope the best for you.
I can't believe that's what you heard, because that's not, no.
Okay, what is in between?
Maybe you can help. We're having a failure to communicate. So can one of the other panelists step in because he's missing.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
hear no.
let Ty do it. Let
I
him
didn't
give
hear
Cynthia a
no.
right.
It's over language. You know, in all honesty, it her taking a step back because of some of the things that he did. Maybe he's doing some good things that she's not used to, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be bad. Maybe, like she says, she not used to that, right? Her last, I guess, relationship, right, was 12 years ago, right? With her kid's father. That's what she said, right? 12 years ago.
Damn,
So, and we saw her struggle through everything. Like she cried almost every scene. So I think it could be an adult thing to do to truly understand who you are so you can give your best self to someone else. Have the apology acceptance conversation, have the attachment style conversation, and do all the things that you are supposed to do prior to starting a relationship.
You know what I kind of feel like is that if you look at her children's father, James, and kind of how he is, with her being with him for that long, extensive period of time, it's kind of like that's the kind of man that she's used to dealing with. And that kind of man is not Anthony. And with her saying that, you know, how she, you know, Anthony they might have had a situation and Cynthia handled it a way where she was like, whoa, like, I'm not used to dealing with this kind of situation because I'm used to dealing with James's, you know, and I think maybe her response was what she would have responded and how she would have responded to James, and Anthony, not James. And I think Anthony might have been like, I'm not James. And it might, and he might have checked her on it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and that probably made her kind of reflect and take a step back. Like, I'm tripping. Like, I really thought that I was ready for this new man relationship. I was ready to move forward, but, you know, unfortunately, I am unemotionally available. I thought that I was, and in a process like Ready to Love and everything that you go through, because cameras are in your face and you're going through the process and it is heavily produced, you kind of get caught up and wrapped up into what's going on at that moment. But after the show, he said they was going on dates, they was doing that. And then, you know, the real Cynthia, not saying anything is wrong with the real Cynthia, because I got a Sabrina on the show, but then I got a real Sabrina too, because the real Sabrina is a lot more reserved, more calmed down, doesn't really, and just loves to laugh and have fun, you know, but you don't really get to see that on the show, you know. So I just feel like that the Cynthia and how Cynthia is usually in a relationship came out, and it wasn't what probably Anthony was looking for, and she was like, damn, I think I need to maybe go heal. So I kind of think that's probably what happened. I could be wrong.
And sometimes some women like to be thugged out after 9:30.
Oh God.
Paul.
I just want you to go
y'all
find
should know that as
somebody
women.
to get some. Please, somebody, please, some lady, lay on this man's lap, because him thinking that everybody is about to bang, bang, shebang tonight.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. I did not say that.
What we saw from this exchange is that a grown woman and a grown man can have an amicable departure from each other, can have a mature conversation. You know, I can relate to Cynthia because, like, okay, for example, I am sarcastic as hell. So I met a guy who was not as he's fun, but sometimes like I be playing too much. And he would feel away. You know, if my intent is not to hurt your feelings. So let me take a step back and work on me and work on my delivery and deal with somebody who's, you know, a little different from me. Like, it's no big deal. I'm just using that as an example. It's not actually a true thing, but I'm just giving you an example. Like maybe you can relate to it if it's said differently. It's not always about what somebody's packing. Like grown women who own businesses and have lives and work hard and all this stuff, it's more than about the D for us. I mean, the D is very important, but it's more than that. More than that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, I'm sorry, 2Ls. I was trying to think of a good analogy, but PO has sent me.
Well, we're at the end of the season now, because after this show tonight, we ain't gonna be talking, you know what I'm saying? This is it.
Y'all, why I was so shamed because I saw that boy with the guy with the braids in the hair. I was like, who is it? Like, y'all, I was really perplexed. And then I remembered it's the one that they tried to like reject because he was too short or something at the very beginning. Right. I was so confused. I was like, who are these people?
Yeah, I know. They got another shot of 15 minutes.
Just to let you know, I was about to type it in the chat, but D Brown says, Sabrina, do you plan to interview Cynthia? I do. So just to let you guys know, tomorrow I'm going to be interviewing Morgan and Jeffrey together, the Toxic Twins. If you're following me on my Instagram page, which is my link is down below for all my socials. You can go to my Instagram page, you can follow. And also too, if you're subscribed to my channel, I put them on the wall as well on my YouTube channel. But I'm interviewing Jeffrey and Morgan tomorrow. Wednesday, I'm going to be interviewing Anthony. Thursday, I'm going to be interviewing Lyndon. Friday, I'm going to be interviewing Z, and next week I will be interviewing Cynthia. But I haven't posted that yet, but just to let you guys know. Yes. I'm sorry, guys. Continue. Sorry.
Busy.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can move on. All right. So Anthony he ain't no thing.
I him taking over.
Oh.
I mean, we've been on this one for about a half hour, so.
It took you a half hour to get it out.
No, to help you understand is what it was.
Bang, bang, bang.
To help me understand how women respond
after 9:30. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I think it might have been a little bit. I think it might have been a situation. I mean, I'm not saying I agree with all y'all. Like, and it very well could have been a conversation that stemmed from something that might have happened in the bedroom. Like, you just don't know. We don't know, you know. But I do appreciate Cynthia, like, you know, coming clean or whatever. But I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 because we are at the end of the season as well. I really, really, really wanted Cynthia and Anthony to work out. I felt like with this season, they were, for me, like the little bit of hope that was left for a couple to, you know, like make it through this season. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. But I will say this, even though I wanted to see them together and I wanted it to work, I didn't see them together. I didn't see it working. I didn't see a real spark. Not saying I don't like them. I love them both, two separately. You know, I love Anthony. I love Cynthia. I've been saying it all this whole season, but I really just didn't see. I saw more of a spark with Cynthia than Andre than I did with Anthony and Cynthia. You know what I mean? I think I even saw more of a spark with Blake and Cynthia more than I saw with Anthony and Cynthia, you know?
I just want to say that Anthony is a very nice guy.
And I believe it. Like, I think he's a great guy. Trust me, if he was within, and I always say this because that's what I used to put on my dating apps. If he was 30 minutes within my vicinity, I would be like, can I take you to lunch? I would ask him out. Like, I think he's a great guy. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like his woman was not on the show. I feel like if Cynthia was emotionally available for that man, they would have been great together.
Well, you know how stuff happens. Like, emotional availability can be something as soon as I'm trying to date you longer and you want to be married tomorrow. It's just little things like that can throw it off. So, you know, King Dingaling right here and all of his antics.
Oh, wow, for King. Oh my God.
How you cut back on that camera? First of all, that looked like you in a hotel room. Where you at?
No, somebody said that I went back on my word. No, I said that I wouldn't date nobody on the show because I'm not trying to date nobody long distance. That's what I said. That's why I made the comment. And, you know, and hence why we should always have all the facts. Absolutely. I said I would never date nobody on that show. Absolutely not. I wouldn't date nobody on that show. They too far from me because I think in real life, I'm not trying to know. All right, baby, I'm coming up on July the 9th. Don't forget. No, hell no. I want to be like, baby, what time you going to be here? Oh, you said 10 minutes? Oh, that's what, like, yeah, I want somebody close. I'm not trying to date nobody long distance. So, but yeah, but if he was close and like I met him at like, you know what I'm saying, Walmart parking lot, I'd be like, that's what I'm talking about right there, that chocolate thing. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
And that beard looked like it was the real beard hair and stuff. Like
he looked like he just got coconut oil and juices and berries.
And his beard looks straight, no chaser. Like what?
I think he taller than me too. Like I gotta be like, hey,
you think he tall?
I could be like this. What?
It don't even matter because I'm trying to change my ways.
Oh, I am too, but I'm not gonna change the height thing. No, I can't.
I mean, but you taller than me. I'm just 5'3", so
oh yeah, that's a little bit. Yeah, I can't date nobody.
I can talk to the DJ. He was cute. Tell him, y'all send him to my DM. Direct him to my DM. I mean, because he was looking kind of handsome too. I was like, who is this stranger?
Because he got that juices and berries. The beard, girl. It's the beard, the height, and the bald head, the height. In a little bit of beard. That's all I need. That's all I need.
In real life. And then let me tell you something. In real life, Anthony looked like his breath smelled good too. Like it always smelled like winter freshman.
He smelled like he
smelled like success and damn love.
He smelled like he need to be on Coming to America.
Baby, baby. He look like Shea Butter ain't missed him, baby.
Let me tell you something. I feel like the Royal Highness penis be clean all the time. I feel like when he walked, the rose petal girls just come out and let me stop. I'm not just stupid. I'm just saying. Hey, actually, Aubrey.
Hey. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Did y'all have anything y'all wanted to add to this conversation?
Oh,
yep, I did. I did.
P.O. is stupid.
Wow. Anthony's beard be glistening and stuff. And did you see that clip when Cynthia was saying, like, what does your future look like? Oh, like, what are you aspiring to do? And he said, marriage. That's it. Marriage.
Yeah. And then he asked her, like, do you think your husband is here? She said, I hope so. Like, we really thought, like, like J-Dub said, like, maybe she had us fooled. I don't know. Because when we was watching her on the show, it looked like she was ready, willing, and available. But she wasn't. Like I said, but, the process brings a lot out of you, And you don't be the same person. When you in the process, you don't be the same person that started the process. I can honestly tell you that. You do come out different. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all totally missed what I just said, but
hold on, no, you said something about.
I'm sorry, I'm typing responses because sometimes these people don't realize that this is just my normal personality, and they think I be on.
Yeah, they always think you drunk.
I'm like, no, like literally. Okay, so first of all, I have to get up. I'm one of those people like I gotta work out in the morning, so I get up at 4:30 to be at the gym by 5 when it opens, so I can be walking out the gym at 6:30. Like I'm just up. So I've been up a whole full ass day. I'm like, this is just me. I'm sorry. Shit. Call my mom and ask her.
J-Dub, I need you to repeat what you said. Say it again for the people in the back.
Well, the comment section got it, but I was referring to how y'all was just gloating and just loving up on Anthony, and I was saying, did y'all hear in that clip when Cynthia asked him, like, what are you aspiring to do in a relationship? What does your life look like in the future? And
Mhm.
Anthony replied, marriage. And I just wanted to know, was that sexy? Is that what y'all looking for? I mean, I'm just wondering, because like I said, I'm not a woman. I don't know what draws y'all in. So if you want to
You
talk to a
trying to
man
be
and
funny, J
I'm telling
Right.
you what
I'll
happened.
just
I'm not didn't say no. He said it. Cynthia asked him what is he aspiring to do in a relationship? And he said, marriage.
So is it what he said or how he said it?
Well, ain't nothing wrong with marriage. Most people want to be married. That's the end goal. But
I'm gone,
this
y'all.
is
I'll
this
see
is
y'all
one of
next
those
year.
I'm just
situations
saying what
where
happened. It was y'all
See
got
y'all
the
in
clip.
Houston.
Somebody run the tape back. That's what he
where
said.
Anthony would be like,
Marriage.
you know what? I
That man want to
understand
be.
you
That
trying to
man want to
poke.
be married.
I'm gonna see y'all in Houston. I can't.
When are you coming to Houston, baby? Because
I'm talking.
hmm.
I'm talking about the next season.
Oh, that's Dallas, lady.
Oh, oh
They
my
want me
God.
stopped, but that's what happened. That's what happened. I mean, I got some other stuff too. It's late, but yes. I mean, yes.
It ain't
Yes.
that late, J Dub. Oh, it's after dark now. It's midnight. Shoot, I might be late for work tomorrow. So it's after 12 o'clock. So what else you got, J Dub?
Just marriage.
Wow.
So I guess that's how we ending it. Damn. But I mean, I get it. And I've actually been, hearing a lot of that. And I've been seeing a lot of that. I actually seen it a couple times in our chat. And I can't even show my face right now. But
What you heard?
yeah. Huh? I got nothing.
Wait, I had something.
We can move. We can move on. We can move on.
We about to move out. I can't.
Y'all know I'm tired.
Yeah. Actually, Aubrey, remember his doormat.
What's the doormat?
Oh my God.
Just don't.
Stacey, I know you remember. You know.
Don't wear no shoes in this house.
And what else?
Oh God, I'm not on mute.
I don't know. What else was it? I thought it was the don't wear no shoes in this house. Da-da-da.
This for Tanya. This for Chandra J. H. Excuse me. Marriage. That's what I got in my future. Marriage. I want to be.
Why
married.
you keep saying it? Why you doing this voice inflections like that?
This was requested, and I was just repeating exactly how he said it.
Wait, first of all, he don't put the mic cover on here, and he put a little bit of his beard in front of his mouth, so it can be extra hazy, so he can say.
Hey, Stacey. Hey.
Like,
Really?
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Ready to Love Reunion Part 2. Tonight has been amazing and fun. I love you guys so much. And guess what? We made it. We made it. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Another season down for the books. OMG. Y'all got to watch the replay of this. I'm probably going to watch the replay of this episode. But anyway, I need y'all to go around the room and give your thoughts on this season, your last remarks. If you want to say a prayer, let everybody know where they can find you. And then, Tyrone, P.O., Stacey B, and then it's J-Dub.
What's up, everybody? It's been really fun coming here every week. Shout out to the cast for making it this far. We didn't see any fights, right? So I guess that was a good thing. Anybody that needs any help or assistance from me, let me know. I have been doing the reviews. I just haven't been publishing them. I will publish them publish something at the end of the week. I do have all of y'all clips. So if you're on the cast and you need all of your clips, I have them. Let me know. J-Dub, Stacy, Paul, Sabrina, you do an amazing job getting us all together. I'm happy that we can be respectful of each other and still go at it. We knew tonight was going to be like, crazy because it was the last episode. I think we originally said we wasn't even going to be long. And I think this might have been the longest.
The longest, yeah.
The longest one, but we had over, 300 people. And it's been fun. Shout out again. I want to say shout out to the cast. Good luck to next season. Y'all should really, really invest in some support and reach out to somebody who's already been there, and try not to, have a dirty try not to have a dirty journey, because it's gonna look bad when you up there on the couch.
No doubt.
That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all know who I am. You know all of that stuff. I do want to say, I want to tell the whole entire cast, thank you guys just for hanging in there. I know it's tough to be reviewed. We all been on the other side, with the exception of J-Dub. We've all been on the other side of the judgment. I know that it's tough taking these reviews and all of the stuff that we say. We don't mean anything personal to you individually. So when we talk, we're just talking about how you came off on the screen. It's like a movie, you know what I mean? We watch your character and we rate it, Hopefully in the real world, we can get to know everybody that was on the cast individually and really know who you are. And we can laugh, probably not right now because y'all might be a little salty, but we'll get together at some point and then we can laugh about, how our journeys look to each other and all of that. So thank you guys. Dallas is up next. Yo, before you even get into the stuff, we all here, man, reach out to us, man. I think all of our IGs is open. So reach out to us because it is tough. It's fun coming in at first, but as the journey goes past, you know what I mean? It gets a little tough. We here, man, for the support. I'm here for it. So let's get it. Good season, y'all.
Stacy B.
Well, I am just so heartbroken that it seems like I think it won't be until like June, July-ish that we'll meet again to talk about this stuff. That's so sad. First of all, I'd like to apologize on behalf of PO for trying to define what a woman is. He forgot to, while I'm here, I just want to make a note for him as well that he forgot to shout out himself and his t-shirt line, his Fabrice, his Garden Gartrell. Denise Huxtable helped him make these. Coming down the runway in the bright yellow. Totin' pickles. With every shirt you get a pickle.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I was MIA. I see you, SJ. Y'all know my baby's got softball and track, so this was like really rough for me, but I tried to show up as much as I can because I really do enjoy being here with you guys. And just find me on Instagram because I gotta keep it simple. I don't be running these streets. I don't be running all these social media streets like the rest of these people. You hear me? I ain't for the streets.
Oh, J-Dub.
Oh, well, we just want to send a good send off to the panel. As PO said, I guess unlike everybody else, I've never had the experience with the production of this show, and I think I that's how I can kind of add something to it, just a different perspective of viewers' choice. And I appreciate everybody in the comments and as well as the panel, because on the model of my channel, Sabrina could have picked anybody, but she picked me to be on here, so that makes me feel special and welcome. And I hope that one day I wasn't on the panel because I'm super busy, that we could actually come together all in one place and do like a live or a video or something like that. That would be like awesome. You know, I don't know
Yeah.
when, but yes, absolutely. That would be great. And yeah, check me out on my channel. It's J Dub. I do reviews of reality shows, all the popular ones. And I realize that I'm nothing without the people. So this
Yeah.
one is shout out to R. Hampton because we R. Hampton wanted to know what did Cynthia asked Anthony what his future looked like, what he wanted. And Anthony said, marriage.
Oh
So
God.
I had to do it because it was a request. I do it for the people. I don't do this for me. So, you know,
Hold
that's
up,
what
wait,
it
what?
is. That's what it is. And I mean, listen, I mean, if I knew that, I could have brought all the receipts and, you know, all the voiceovers for that situation. Cause as Trinidad James said, hey, I like you, but you suspect. That's all I got to say. I'm out.
Yeah. Remember we said the views and opinions expressed by Jesus Christ. Jeez.
Ah!
The marriage part of the marriage.
I don't.
No,
I
it's
think I just want to hang
marriage.
up. I don't even have any. Just want to hang up
Marriage.
at this point.
I mean, it's very communicative. What do you see yourself in the future as?
I hate
Marriage.
you.
Oh my God. Thank you so
Who
much, guys. I love you.
everybody loves marriage. Everybody.
Shout out to my soulmates. Shout out to my moderators. Shout out to my panelists. Without all of you guys, there is no me. Thank you so much. If you are interested in joining the membership community, definitely click that membership button on my front channel. If you are subscribed to my channel, member on my channel, by the end of April, the last day of April, you will be receiving free merch from my channel. I love you so much, guys. This has been an amazing season. As much as I was ready for it to be over with, now I'm kind of shedding a tear that it finally is and that it's gone, because I don't think I want it to end. But it's cool because I'm going to see you again. Don't forget to like this video. If you are not subscribed, definitely subscribe. We would love to have you over here on my Soulmate family. And other than that, comment down below and let us know how you felt about this season. And other than that,
No, make sure you hit the like button on your way out. When you close out your chat, go hit the thumbs up.
Yeah, click the thumbs up. Love you so much, guys. Can we get a bomb to end it? Can we get a bomb? P.O., I haven't heard no bombs all night.
No.
Ty ain't raising up his shirt today. You definitely in a hotel because that don't